are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Oh, my God. Okay, well, I was going to open with Monday Night Football, and then I was going to talk about the Seahawks, and then we just got breaking news from ESPN's Adam Schefter that 44-year-old Phillip Rivers, who has not played in the NFL, last time for Indianapolis, since 2020, is back since 1987, is back in the NFL. He becomes the second grandfather to be an active NFL player following Brett Favre, and also continues to add to who the heck is starting at quarterback for the Colts on Sunday against the Seahawks. We're going to talk about it a little bit more at 10:30, including like what it kind of says about the quarterback market. But quickly, any reaction at all to Phillip Rivers coming back to the NFL, signing with the Colts, and the massive quarterback question with Indianapolis? They're Seattle's next opponent.
80s baby, stand up. We still in this.
Curtis got me for a minute because I thought certainly you're right.
70s
He's certainly a 70s baby. And then when I saw that you could be in your mid-40s and born in the 80s, I said, that math doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right.
I mean, we're just days away from somebody born in the 80s on this show turning 40.
Yeah.
Not to name any names.
Yeah. 40 is the new 30, apparently.
Bob, you still got 4 years left to get back in the NFL.
Or more.
That's a good way to think about it.
Could you?
Heck no.
Could you take a hit at this age right now?
I think you could.
It's different. If I were a quarterback, you're protected. I'm a slot receiver, all right? Defenseless receiver, my butt. Going across the middle, they smack me. Nah, my body can't take it.
What if you go to a system? What if Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay is going to get you some space?
Puka's
Throw
been
to the
knocked
sidelines.
out. Puka's been banged up.
Puka puts his body in danger.
Yeah.
Could you be like Tyler Lockett? Just catch it and then go immediately to the ground?
Good point, Curtis.
My pride wouldn't let me. Pride to be like, you know what? You got to take at least one of these things on.
Bump, I think if today's news has taught us anything, it's that you can still play in the NFL.
You got 4 more years.
You got 4 years and another week.
That's crazy.
To be able to get this done.
No, thank you. Only quarterbacks can do that. Quarterbacks and
never too late.
And tackles. Quarterbacks and tackles can do it. You're a receiver, a linebacker, D-line. That ain't happening.
Is there something to be said for the way the Seahawks are winning? That is where we're starting our show today. As Curtis pointed out, the Seahawks have been stacking points. They're not winning close games. They're not winning on last-second field goals. They've had some pretty dominant wins this season, and even in wins that have been close by the final score, they were at one point up by double digits. Look at that first win over the Arizona Cardinals, their win over the Tennessee Titans, where they were leading, by 20 points, not once, but twice in that game before allowing it to get a little more narrow. I think it just opens up a conversation, Bump, about how good are the Seahawks? Where do they measure up to the rest of the team, rest of the league, rest of the NFC? Does it mean something that they're winning with a couple blowouts, that they're scoring so many points per game? Does that mean anything? Does it carry weight? And what does it mean in a league in which there's a lot more parity this year?
How are they winning? They are beating down the bad teams, right? The Saints snuck by the Cardinals the first time, got them the second time, snuck by the Titans, beat down the Falcons. Did you throw the stat up there on the show sheet? Yeah. Colin Cowherd said it. We're going to listen to his sound. The sixth win by 14 points or more by Seattle.
Yeah, I have it right here.
All right, let's hit it.
This is the 6th time Seattle has beaten a team, may not be the last this regular season, by 14 points or more. If you look at the history of Super Bowl winners, that's the number Super Bowl teams get to. 6 ugly blowout wins. They dominate.
Yeah, they have the characteristics of a championship caliber type of team, but they also show you at times that they can get got. But I think that any team on their path to a Super Bowl has those moments where you look like, you're not having your best day. Yep. There have been a couple days where you haven't had your best day, and they've come in wins and losses. So how are they winning? They're winning in multiple ways, man. I think they're winning by being explosive on offense, by the defense taking care of business, and the running game being just enough. Man, I'm looking at just the Rams, right? I watched what the Rams did last week. Was it 20 yards on the ground or something like that? And obviously that inflates their average. How many more yards per game do you think the Rams have when it comes to running the football?
Compared to Seattle?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they had a big day against the Saints, too. I'm going to guess 15.
6 yards.
6 yards, I said.
6 yards per game. But the last 3, they've been going nuts. They got like 157, and their average is around 123. But it feels like just the explosiveness in the run game is the difference, right? So these guys are winning, like we've mentioned for the past couple of weeks. Like they're winning with just being okay in the run game, and they're winning with an up and down type of season for Sam Darnold, right? He's been the MVP talks, and then he's been a guy who just turns the football over. He's been the guy who puts a couple games together where he doesn't turn the football over, and then he's the guy who throws 3 touchdowns and turns it over 1 time. The consistency at the quarterback play is what makes this team so volatile because they've been consistent on defense. Myers, a football player,
thank you,
has been really good in the kicking game, and they started taking the ball away the last 2 games, 8 takeaways for this defense. So how they won in multiple ways, I know it's probably stressful for a lot of people, but I also think that it's important that they show that they can win in multiple ways.
Speaking of what they've shown. Yesterday, we talked about where the Seahawks rank in top dogs in the NFL with pretty much all the teams we were looking at being NFC teams. We were trying to figure out, okay, do you put the Rams ahead, the Packers ahead, the Eagles ahead? The Eagles have a great roster. After watching Monday Night Football, you feel that the Seahawks rank where?
Third, for sure. Third now.
Ahead
for
of
sure,
the Eagles?
Third. Yeah, the Eagles that was the question mark, right? Because they're not winning in dominant fashion, but they're still winning ball games. And then you see last night, our Jalen Hurts is capable of turning the football over. That was the one thing he didn't do, was turn the football over, and he accounted for 5. My man had 2 turnovers in 1 possession. That's hard to do.
Did anyone watch the Monsters, Inc. broadcast? Just me. It was adorable. The broadcast didn't know what to do.
The animation just couldn't.
The animation couldn't. It didn't.
You watched the whole game like that?
No, I just watched part of it, just to kind of. Okay, so this sounds very bad. I wanted to see what the Monsters Inc. broadcast looked like if a player was hurt.
Dang.
So
evil.
So, at one point, a player was down with an injury. It was not a serious injury, and I said, "Well, let me flip." I just, out of curiosity, I want to see I get
right.
I just had a morbid curiosity to see, like, what does the broadcast do? Do they show a player on the ground, like, ow?
Did they?
Like, no, it's just they like flip to all the other stuff that they do, and like
Blair Rogers was a big fan of the Monsters Inc. broadcast last night.
Blair
not so much. Yeah, Blair's a ball knower.
I'm glad that me and your youngest have that.
My 2-year-old.
But no, with the 2 turnovers on 1 possession.
That's
also,
impressive.
shout out to Jalen Hurts because I was playing someone who started Jalen Hurts in fantasy and won by 0.4.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Bad day for Katie Smith.
Well, the Eagles, they showed, I mean, we were waiting for this to happen, right? You can kind of see what the Eagles are. All right, you're sneaking by. All right, something's going to happen here. And the Chargers aren't a bad football team, but you felt like the Eagles should be able to handle that. But this is the NFL, man. Week by week, things change, man. So my power rankings, the Eagles have dropped down to 4, Hawks 3, Packers 2, and Rams 1.
Speaking of the Rams at 1, let's talk about the differences between the Rams and Seahawks. This is what John Middlecoff said.
If I had to say who has the best, I think the Niners offense is pretty good and the Rams offense is really good, right? Seattle's defense, to me, the Rams DBs, it's hard to trust, when you get in certain moments. Seattle's defense, top to bottom, they might have the best defensive backfield right there with Denver in the league. I might still have Seattle 1. The only reason you kind of hesitate is like I do trust Stafford a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's like Eli couldn't do it till he did it. Some of these guys, like I do think Dak Prescott is good enough to win a Super Bowl, but you'd be like, well, he's been awful in the playoffs. True. Some guys like James Harden clearly melts down. Like he has a long history. Like maybe that is Dak. Maybe he'll just always melt down in these playoff games. But I also see him in big normal games look good.
Yeah.
2 things. That was from the Colin Cowherd podcast. Is it just me, or does Colin's voice sound like exceptionally deep when he goes, yeah?
Well, it's a time of year where everybody's got a cold, and one of the benefits to when you have a cold is your voice gets really gruffly.
It's really cool. That's the deepest I can make. Brady, can you isolate just one of his? Yeah. I'm just gonna start doing that when Bum says something I agree with. Yeah, you're right. Secondly, I really like the point overall because I think it's how a lot of people feel. John's point, that is, about how, look, I'd probably have Seattle. This is John's point. I'd probably have Seattle number 1 in the NFC West. That defense is exceptional. However, I trust Stafford more than I trust Sam Darnold. I don't care what the numbers have said this year. Stafford's numbers are technically better, but Sam Darnold's are perfectly fine. If Sam Darnold's numbers were being done by Patrick Mahomes, you wouldn't think twice about it. You'd be like, oh, he's turning the ball over a little bit this year, but it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's the deciding factor for me. I do think this defense is better. I do think the secondary is better. I think the D-lines are comparable. I think the linebackers are comparable. But it comes down to can your quarterback win in the clutch? And Matthew Stafford has done that. Sam Darnold has won some games as well, right? He has some game-winning drives. But Matthew Stafford has shown over the course of his career he can do that. And he's playing this at a different level right now, man. It's going to get tight during a playoff game. That's the thing. It will be tight. There is a moment that is going to decide the football game. There's a moment where all the armchair managers are going to say, big drive here.
Right, and I'm going to be one of them now. That's my new favorite thing to say. Big third down.
Hey, big third down.
Big third down. Got to
score here. Got to score here. Those moments are going to happen. And so far in those moments, we haven't seen Sam come through. We've seen him move the football and put his team against a good team, like a really good team, a contender. We haven't seen him do that against contenders yet. For the Rams, we've seen that. And someone texted the other day, but the Rams lost to the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, it's NFL, baby. Anybody can get it.
Well, and you haven't played the Panthers yet, so you don't get to hang your hat on it just yet.
Yeah, and the Panthers aren't as bad as people might think.
Yeah,
they're not. They're not elite.
I know that's right,
but they're not bad. Yeah. So yeah, that's what's holding me back, man. I think Sam can do it. It's not like I don't believe in him. And my kids do things they've never done before, man. I'm waiting with anticipation. Like, this is your moment. Can you do it? And they do it, and then I start believing them a little bit more. So that's how I feel about Sam. He can get it done. I just got to see it.
I was going to ask, at that last point, you said he can get it done. You think he's got it in him? Because I think there are some people that don't. I think there are some people, and I don't begrudge them for this because he hasn't proven it. But I think there are some people who think, I just don't think some guys have that in them. And if your team's good enough, it doesn't matter, right? If you've got an exceptional defense and an exceptional run game and exceptional coaching, it doesn't matter. But everything has to go right for you.
I think once he does it, then it becomes. I think he can. He's capable. Once he does it, then it becomes a part of you. Because there are moments where Matthew Stafford has to prove to himself he can do it. Pat Mahomes, all the greats, you have to be in that moment, conquer it, and then it becomes part of you. But I could see where people are hesitant, man, because in that first half, like I said yesterday, he was tentative throwing the football. You know, second half, he loosened up a little bit. His demeanor doesn't give you the follow me into this fire type stuff. You know what I mean? He's a bit more calm and reserved. So there are some things that I understand that deter people from absolutely believing in him, but I think he's capable.
I need that, as just a drop, Brady. I need to get it ready all day. Thank you. To all those doubters, says the 360. I have one thing to say, Trent Dilfer. I want to stick in this topic for just a minute longer.
I love when people throw Trent Dilfer and stuff.
Why do you love that?
Yeah, because he had the greatest defense of all time.
Also because, like, he's this single – I get what you're saying, 360, which is we have seen, quite literally, a team win a Super Bowl with an objectively bad starter. Like, NFL caliber quarterback, but, like, certainly not one that you'd turn to win you a game. We have all seen that. In 2000, overwhelmingly, the last several examples we've had have been quarterbacks that are either absolutely like franchise guy, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, or incredibly dynamic. Jalen Hurts threw 5 turnovers or had 5 turnovers yesterday, and I get that. He's also an exceptionally dynamic player.
At what point do we get so far removed from that Ravens Super Bowl
that we drop
it? That it no longer becomes like
never
relevant context for like bad quarterback play and winning a Super Bowl? Because the league is set up so much differently now than it was in 2000.
But I think it'll never happen so long as there's an example we all know of. It's kind of like, well, Tom Brady isn't the best example. I was going to say like Tom Brady being selected in the 6th round. Someone will always say Tom Brady. Yeah. Like for the next bajillion years, Brock Purdy could never do another thing, and someone will say, well, Brock Purdy was selected last overall. Like there are just examples that stick in our brain, and they're there forever.
Yeah, and that's what history's for. It's to linger. And you draw from it. I went back and I'm looking at Trent Dilfer's numbers back then. He only played in 11 games. My man completed 59% of his passes. He threw 12 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. That's how great that defense was. Sam can't play like that.
Here I go again. I don't like that you guys are making me do this. I don't like being some kind of Russell Wilson stan. And it's not like a personal thing. It's just that I find myself doing this more often than I'd like. Which is going back and correcting some revisionist history on Russell Wilson. Micah in the 425, thank you for texting, says, I don't think you need a Patrick Mahomes to win a Super Bowl. Which you're right. You don't need a Patrick Mahomes to win a Super Bowl. You're 1,000% right, Micah. But then said, like, look at Russell Wilson. Sam Darnold could be kind of like him. He's not the most elite passer, but they'll win games because the defense is elite. You just need a game manager. However, Russell Wilson did have legs. And Russell Wilson did, I mean, so does Sam Darnold, but you guys get what I mean. And Russell Wilson added to that offense in a very different way. Russell Wilson was not purely a game manager. Also, this is a fun conversation. is the Legion of Boom arguably better than this defense right now?
Right now.
That's still a little bit of a gap to make up.
Yeah.
Between how the Legion of Boom limited points per game for 4 consecutive seasons, and it was like sub 16 at certain points.
Yeah. They're better right now. But who knows what's going to happen with this defense?
Who knows what's going to happen? But that team had Marshawn Lynch with 1,200 yards-ish, and then the Legion of Boom. And Russ still added that dynamic element. I don't know. I'm going to die on that hill, so I'm going to keep it moving. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Yeah.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1. I called it last night. Chargers snuck by the Eagles 22-19 in overtime on Monday Night Football. What's the real headline?
Get ready for Jalen Hurts discourse. Who cares about the Chargers?
That's right.
That's not what anyone's talking about today. Have you heard a single person go up to you at some like a water cooler in your kitchen at work and go, "Oh man, those Chargers"? No, absolutely not. What they're saying is, "Whoo, Jalen Hurts. Oh man, the Eagles. They're struggling." That's what everyone's talking about.
Dropped 3 in a row. To the Cowboys, to the Bears, and now the Chargers. You can't turn the football over like that. And that's who Jalen Hurts is. A guy who just runs the offense, does just enough, but doesn't turn the football over. So now when you start turning that thing over, it's going to be tough. Look, they're still in this game, right? This reminds me of kind of like the Sam Darnold game against the Rams. Not as bad because his looks a little silly, but you lose by 3 points and you turn the ball over 5 times. I think the Chargers are a different caliber of team. I think the Rams are better than the Chargers, so you can look at it that way. Well, the Chargers are struggling right now. And you got a game where Saquon Barkley gets 120 yards. It's the second time only this year he's gone over 100. And you still lose this ball game. Look, they're 8-5, and I still think they are in control of their division, if my memory is correct. Let me pull it up right here. Pull it up. Yeah, you're 8-5. You're still in control of your division. You got a few games left to try to correct this thing. You got
I know.
You got the Raiders and the Commanders. Go ahead and correct that thing. You got the Bills and the Commanders again. I can see them winning 3 out of 4. You go into the playoffs with 11 wins, but they don't look like true contenders right now.
I think there's a world where they win 4 out of 4. The Bills' running defense is the worst in the league. I don't know what it'll look like in 3 weeks. Maybe they end up having a good game, but there's a world where Saquon's able to take off in that one, and the Eagles win out for the rest of the season, and then become one of the more confusing 12-win teams where you're going, I don't know what to think about this team. They seem so mercurial. Jalen Hurts has had bad games, and yet here they are with 12 wins and a ton of talent. I think that's what they're going to be at the end of the season.
Here's the thing, too, though. Jalen Hurts has played in big games and performed at a high level.
He does seem cool
during big games. So he gets the benefit of the doubt for now. We'll see in the playoffs.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the Colts are signing 44-year-old quarterback Phillip Rivers to their practice squad. What's the real headline?
I'm sure Brock Heward has holiday plans, but I think the Colts could use him again, too. I think you just tap back at your only 40-year-old. All 40s is what they're going to have at quarterback.
I don't think Brock is in his 40s, though.
He's not?
He might be 50.
No.
I think he's
turning
50 soon or
Brock
has turned 50.
Very easily Googleable. He's 49.
Okay. All right. He qualifies.
And his birthday is April 15th, so we've got some time here.
He turns 50 next year.
Yeah, he's eligible.
Right. He's got time. Bring him back.
He's eligible for several months to be the Colts quarterback.
Everything looks better lefty anyway, you know?
That's right. I know that's right.
Resident Southpaw, Curtis Rogers, confirming that. Rivers' Hall of Fame clock would reset if he gets added to Indy's active roster at any point. Bummer for him. Also, he's a grandfather and would become the second active player ever to also be a grandfather, second to Brett Favre.
This just tells you what the situation is like over there with the Colts, man. Mm-hmm. And that'd be crazy if he were to start this week, right? Less than a week of prep. You know he can handle a playbook. He's been around the block, obviously, several times. The love of the game runs deep in Phillip Rivers. I would love to see it, though. I would love to see Phillip out there.
Someone said, why does someone keep belching on air?
That's Colin Cowherd.
That's Colin Cowherd saying, yeah, in the deepest voice I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't even know how you did that. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3 from the winter meetings. The Phillies have re-signed Kyle Schwarber to a 5-year, $150 million deal. And the Dodgers Oh, the Dodgers. They are adding Edwin Diaz to their bullpen. What's the real headline?
So from the winter meetings, nothing shocking. That's the headline. From the winter meetings, everything you expected. Dodgers got one of the top free agents, and Kyle Schwarber didn't leave the Phillies after all. I also wonder what that means for Pete Alonso.
Yeah, man, I almost feel like I should sit this one out because everyone's going to be mad at me.
No, but
my
step
Dodgers
up to the plate.
are just, doing what the Dodgers do, spend a lot of money, get some assets, and try to make another run at this. I smell a three-peat. If it ain't the Mariners, excuse me.
Yeah. How dare you? It's almost, I'm not yet mad at the Dodgers. Is anyone mad at the Dodgers?
They're playing by the rules.
I haven't. I know some people feel differently. I'm curious if you do. 866-979-3776. I get that feeling of like, the rich get richer, but like it hasn't really irked me yet in quite the same way because it's like, okay. I mean, first of all, you still got to win it all. Yeah. Right? The Blue Jays had a lot of chances to win that World Series. A lot of chances. But yeah, I don't find myself being bothered by it or thinking it's like ruining baseball. It's just like one team that's doing this. And by the way, they're still the oldest team in baseball.
Yeah, it's not their fault. They're just, they got billionaires with a bunch of money want to spend it, and they're playing by the rules. But, I can't wait to hear that music.
I'm with the 808. I don't care about the Dodgers. They have nothing to do with the Mariners. Yeah, if you meet them in a World Series or like, maybe if they mess up your season late because you drop a series to them, sure, like I get it. But I find myself mostly unaffected by them.
Yeah.
I'm unbothered by them.
Unless the
I have
Mariners
so much active hate for other
Unless
teams.
the Mariners make it to the World Series, and then you're looking at them like, all right.
Right. Then I will turn tail. You guys, it'll be a 180. I'm going to be up here saying, I've always said the Dodgers are buying championships. If the Mariners face the Dodgers in a World Series, I will be the most hypocritical person you've ever seen.
I've never related to a Patriots fan as much as I do now. Because someone says, 360, it's not the team that's annoying, it's their fans. Why? Because we win and we talk about it.
No, I think Boston fans are in so much so they're in several annoying brackets higher than LA fans of anything. Like Lakers fans, Dodgers fans, it doesn't matter. Like there's just a specific brand of East Coast sports fandom that truly occupies like a league of its own, way up here in the sky in terms of annoying. Like Yankees fans, Boston fans, really it's New York and Boston are kind of up here with a ton of championships, just being insufferable. And then LA, anything is just a little bit lower, just a little chiller.
I'll take that.
Yeah, You're welcome. Happy early birthday. The Colts are adding Phillip Rivers. What does it say about the quarterback market, and what does it mean for Seattle on Sunday? That's next.
Looking for a gap. He's got one. He's off to the races. Look out. They're not going to touch him. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Make it back-to-back 10-win seasons for the Seahawks, but they're just getting started.
We building a brotherhood. That's what it's about.
It's the Seahawks' quest to win the NFC West.
Honestly, we got a lot of special dudes on this team.
Placement, and it's blocked.
Yes.
Guess who? It's Eamon Warren. Yeah, guess who?
And it's only on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Bump here. Seattle Youth Men's Basketball is hosting big games at Climate Pledge. Come see Washington State, and Gonzaga. Next game is December 19th against UW. Tickets as low as $20. Grab your tickets at goseattleU.com/tickets. Red Hawks rising.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here. For my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group, are you tired of just grilling in the cold and rain every winter in the Northwest? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the wintry months. And I've got a special offer for you right now. Take advantage of off-season savings through December and get up to 20% off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Most people don't consider building a deck in winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, then contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming, designing, and approving your project so you're ready to build by the spring. Remember, planning and permits take time, So get started right now. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
Hey, Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and obviously New Year's is coming up. Can you believe it? Book your stay at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel for an evening of elegance at a night at the Grand Ball. This New Year's Eve celebration includes the legendary DJ Super Sam. And sports fans, you got to check out the Hawks Peak. You're home for game days with great food and drinks, more than 60 TVs, so you won't miss a play, and a heated, covered outdoor deck with those great views of the Snoqualmie Valley. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
If you've been in a wreck or a fender bender,
you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility, not just where your insurance company tells you to go. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. With over 25 years of auto repair work, they'll exceed your expectations.
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
At Accurate Auto Body, all their work is performed by certified technicians, only using OEM parts to guarantee the safety of you and your family. For the best in auto body collision repair and customer service, give them a call at 425-883-2450 or AccurateAutoBodyWA.com. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes!
Are you planning an event in 2026? Make it unforgettable at T-Mobile Park. Mariners suites and group tickets are perfect for any occasion. Fundraisers, school outings, work parties, family celebrations, and more. Enjoy customizable catering, flexible setups for 14 to 400 people, and epic game day views, all with the help of a dedicated Mariners rep. Get ahead and start planning your event today at mariners.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
If you didn't see this news this morning, you're probably living under a rock, and that's okay. We'll fill you in. The Colts are signing Phillip Rivers. Are the Colts signing Phillip Rivers to start on Sunday? I don't know. Right now, they're looking at Riley Leonard, who is their backup, to be the starter. But Riley Leonard, who came in relief of Daniel Jones last week, is dealing with, I don't know if it's a strained, some kind of issue with the knee ligament. So he's day-to-day. His status for Sunday is uncertain. One thing I'll say is that Ian Rappaport said Phillip Rivers, who signed to the practice squad, is meant to kind of be a veteran presence for Riley Leonard, maybe help out down the road. Today, as of 10:30 in the morning on Tuesday, it doesn't sound like Phillip Rivers is playing against the Seahawks. What it does sound like is that a kind of banged up Riley Leonard is going to have Phillip Rivers there for some help, and that if Riley Leonard gets hurt, maybe you do see a 44-year-old quarterback who hasn't played since 2020 and is older than his head coach and OC playing opposite the Seahawks defense.
They brought Phillip Rivers in because they feel like Riley's not going to be able to get it done. That's what it comes down to. All right, if you thought Riley was the guy, then you sign somebody off the street who's at home, who's in shape or something like that, and you call it good. You don't bring in Phillip Rivers just to sit on the bench the rest of the year. Phillip wouldn't
ruin his Hall of Fame.
Leave his 25 kids to come just sit on the bench.
Not his grandchild.
No, we will see Phillip Rivers. And it's hard to play the quarterback position. I said before, it's the hardest position in sports. You have so much responsibility, and it's hard to find a franchise guy. It's hard to find a guy just to keep you afloat for a while. That's why they're bringing back Phillip Rivers. And like you mentioned, his Hall of Fame clock is going to restart once he comes back. He's going to reset his clock, leave his kids and his grandkids just to be on the bench.
Nope.
Negative. He is going to play. This week we shall see. Next week, I think for sure. If Riley does not look good, if you go a half where this guy is struggling, they will put Phillip Rivers in that game.
So Riley Leonard, I wrote this down. Riley Leonard in relief of Daniel Jones was actually not bad. I don't remember if he got a touchdown or not. 18 of 29, 145. Fine.
I don't know what it looked like.
Yeah, I didn't watch him. That's just the final line. So who knows exactly what he's going to look like against Seattle.
It was a lot of garbage time.
Yeah,
because the Colts were getting blown out of that.
Was there any turnovers, interceptions,
I think he threw one interception.
One interception, thank you. Look, I'm not going to create a trap game trap. But this should be a Seattle win. And what I'm a little more curious with this one, obviously Sam Darnold on the offense against Indy's defense, right? That's a big conversation that we're going to be having all week long, and that's where you've got your healthiest battles. But Seattle's defense against truly a massive question mark at quarterback is very intriguing to me.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you've taken care of the lesser quarterback, so why would we expect anything less? This isn't the defense from, a couple years ago when the backups used to come in here and just do their thing. It's a different type of defense, right? A more disciplined defense, a more talented overall defense. This just became, it was already a game you should win. Now it became a game that you must win. Because if you were to drop this one, then the critics are really going to be out there hooting and hollering about what you're not. But yeah, you take advantage of the situation. Even if Phillip Rivers is in that game, he's 44. He's a backup. He probably has a grasp a little bit on this offense, but not like he would if he was back in the day with the Chargers. It's hard to come in and play well on short notice. We saw Baker Mayfield do it for the Rams on a Thursday night, 3 days of practice. But this is just a different type of team. So this heightens it for me. This heightens my expectation, and I think they should win a clean one.
I have a 0% expectation that Phillip Rivers does anything this weekend at all.
If he's in the game, what is
it? Would have to be because Brett Rippon, you said, Curtis, is their practice squad guy, so they'll activate him. So you'll have Riley, Rippon, and if both those guys go down, maybe Rivers gets out there. Or if you're losing
he's
by
the emergency quarterback at that point,
right?
Yeah.
Or if you're losing by 30, maybe you're like, all right, let's let Phillip get out there and kind of like let this be an opportunity for him.
Well, if he's the third quarterback, he's the emergency. Those guys would have to get hurt for him to come in.
Yeah.
He can't be up 30 and be like, all right, let's throw an emergency.
It's more of just an interesting kind of conversation. We'll learn more about Riley, particularly on Thursday when we have the huddle, having our opponent preview. Second part of this conversation, in addition to what it means for Seattle on Sunday and just the shock of the Colts signing a 44-year-old, what does this say about the quarterback market? Now, granted, Phillip Rivers has connections to the Colts, right? Played for Indy in 2021, connections to Shane Steichen, weirdly older than both his OC and head coach now. But so I get that there's like a history there. I feel like the free agent quarterback market, I truly don't know who else the Colts could have turned to.
Well, the trade deadline is gone, right? You can't trade for a quarterback. I just looked up 2025 quarterback free agents. You got C.J. Beathard, you have Jeff Driscoll, and you have Jake Fromm, who are on the streets right now. I'm sure there are more, but this is what Spotrac just pulled up when I typed it in. It's in this situation, you have to keep your team functioning. In this situation, you are still a playoff team at this point. You're not tanking. So that's why you bring in a veteran quarterback, because you can simplify this playbook until he grasps it, and he's going to make some plays. He's going to make some throws. I know he's 44, but that arm is still popping. Brock Hewitt can still throw a rifle right now. That arm is most times the last thing to go. It's everything else that leads before that. So this is an insurance policy because they are still a playoff team. We're going to see Phillip Rivers at some point this year because with the two they have in front of them, I don't expect anything.
What do you make of the Colts right now? What do you expect Sunday between the Colts and the Seahawks? Because 4 or 5 weeks ago when I was looking at this on the schedule, I thought, oh, God, what a unfortunate, tough end to the season the Seahawks are going to have facing the Colts and Rams in very close proximity on a short week. And then you still got the 49ers. And then, you start wondering what the Panthers are going to look like now.
You know why you were thinking that? Because you were drinking the Colts Kool-Aid and I wasn't.
The Colts Kool-Aid.
You were drinking the Colts Kool-Aid.
Would still be hitting listen, the problem.
Danny Dimes was struggling too.
Danny Dimes broke his leg, was still playing on it. I understand that it was just kind of like a fracture in his ankle, but the point is he was still playing and then tore his Achilles. I was sipping the Kool-Aid a little bit, but they had really tempting Kool-Aid. It was, you know what I mean? They added sugar. They did everything right. It was looking good. It wasn't 2 weeks into the season, and I was going, look at the Colts. They started 7-1.
The same thing people say about
8 games into the
Seahawks,
season.
you can say about the Colts. Who did they beat?
But they were doing it in such convincing fashion.
So did the Seahawks. And what do people say about the Seahawks? Who have they beaten? Yeah, I wasn't drinking that Kool-Aid. And they don't have the defense that the Hawks have. They don't have the quarterback that the Hawks have.
The Hawks don't have Jonathan Taylor.
Do not. We have a heck of a run defense.
Sure, but Jonathan Taylor is leading all running backs the way that JSN is leading receivers, where there's like a gap between the next closest.
That's what's up.
Jonathan Taylor's been exceptional.
Oh, no, he's the best running back in the game right now.
Yeah.
Numbers-wise. I'll take Bijan and Gibbs over him.
You're so against the Colts Kool-Aid that you hate Jonathan Taylor.
I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I like a certain style of running back. Jonathan Taylor's he's a monster.
I'm never going to say that a game is going to be easy in the NFL. That's ridiculous. It's disrespectful. Far be it for me to do that. However, what kind of game would you expect for Sunday?
I'd expect a game where the Colts are going to make a couple plays because of the guy I just mentioned, Jonathan Taylor. And then I expect things to settle down, for the defense to figure it out, and for Sam just to be efficient with the football. Don't need to have a big game, 200-plus yards, 2 touchdowns, and then call it good. It's just an efficient game. And they were efficient last game, minus a turnover from Sam Darnold. That's what I'm looking for.
Is Phillip Rivers going to be on Get Off My Lawn?
Maybe.
A Phillip Rivers topic?
Maybe.
I mean, this is your last Get Off My Lawn before you're 40.
It is. Then the intro is real.
Then the intro hits different.
Uh-huh.
Because you are a man and you're 40.
Yep.
Right
now I'm just a mere man.
Right. But on Saturday, you're 40. Mm-hmm. And Taylor Swift is 36. Let's not forget. You guys are both celebrating birthdays.
Yeah. She needs to focus on her man, though. He needs her right now.
I think Travis Kelce might just need to hang him up, focus on the wedding, right? Rather than her focusing on the man. I think Travis has to focus on the wedding. He'll get a couple of extra weeks this season to just focus on it. I don't think many athletes get a ride off into the sunset, though. I don't blame him at all for sticking around trying to see if they can do it again. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, because it's a blessing to play in the league that long, man.
Yeah.
And he's not having a bad season. He's still got like 600-700 yards.
It was just a bad game.
Yeah.
And that bobbled catch.
It looked like it was so hard to catch that football.
That was the oldest I've ever seen him look.
Yeah.
What's the latest news from MLB's winter meetings? Jeff Passan joined Brock and Salk to give him the scoop. That's next.
Save the date, Wednesday, December 10th. Join the stations of Bonneville, Seattle, and Treehouse for the 37th year of Holiday Magic, helping provide holiday gifts and year-long support for the more than 6,000 youth and young adults in foster care statewide. Wednesday, December 10th. Over the 37 years of Holiday Magic, we've delivered 182,000 gifts across our state. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476 to learn more. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476.
Silver Reef Casino Resort is hosting a New Year's party. Escape to the vibrant, illuminated heart of the neon jungle for a New Year's Eve experience unlike any other. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, Glow Wild Party blend tropical extravagance with electric payouts. There's a free dance party with live music from Sway Seattle, plus $2,026 in hot seat drawings every half hour starting at 6:30 p.m., all leading up to the epic $20,000 grand prize. The countdown is on. Ringing the new year by stepping into the neon jungle. Book your stay at silverreefcasino.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
At Cressy Door, we not only have the perfect garage door for your home, but we also offer options for creating space and even warming your outdoor areas. Check out your options at CressyDoor.com.
Hey Hawk fans, Jake Bobo. Stormy weather is here. How's your roof holding up? Give Techline Roofing a call. With the strongest warranty in the business, Techline has you covered. That's TEKLINE, roofing.com. Trust Techline.
It's here, the Light the World giving machines at the Alderwood and South Hill malls. With a swipe of your credit card, donate a chicken, school supplies, meals, and more. Go to givingmachinewa.org.
I go to Starbucks every day. They introduced the app a number of years ago. I was a very early adopter to mobile ordering with their app. I don't need the cashier experience. I don't need standing in line. I can bypass all of that. That's an efficiency for me. Customers want the same thing. We video inspect all of our cars when they come in for a service appointment. So when we're doing a maintenance visit here, we do a video inspection of your vehicle. The technician shows you what your tires are at, what your brakes are at, what your filters are at. That's what we're sending to people. They open it, they look at it. We generally give them 3 choices. Hey, you can do the minimum, do something in the middle, or do it all. They're in a meeting, but we've met them where they want to be met for quick and efficiency. And that's meeting a lot of new tech customers, but also just transparency, because they can see that video inspection.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Dave Wyman here, joined by a very special guest, Dr. Daniel Landis, a multiple-time recipient of the Seattle Top Doctor Award. He's on the Swedish CyberKnife team treating prostate cancer and accepting new patients. Dr. Landis, how does CyberKnife compare to other prostate cancer treatments?
So one of the advantages of the CyberKnife platform is that the treatment can be concluded in just 5 days, as opposed to other treatments that require anywhere from 26 to 42 days of radiation.
How do patients feel about their experience?
Patients overall tell me that their experience was really amazing. They had minimal disruption of their lives. They didn't have to take time off work. And they tell me it's like Star Trek, where you push a button and the cancer can go away.
That really is amazing. It's almost too good to be true. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/CyberKnifeProstate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Love this song, too, for the winter meetings. Get ready for MLB news. Jeff Passan on with Brock and Salk talking about the winter meetings, the latest. We'll start with Jorge Polanco's market, what it looks like right now.
I think the Pirates are pretty serious, especially now that they haven't gotten Kyle Schwarber, and they were genuinely serious there. I know everyone laughs, like they had a good offer on the table. They were willing to go higher. Schwarber just wanted to go back to Philadelphia, and he got the number that he was looking for. But I think at the end of the day, it's probably going to be somewhere between 14 and 17 million a year for Jorge Polanco, and you know, if there are two teams duking it out at the end, maybe it goes up $1 million a year. And it looks like it's going to be a 3-year deal, but something along the lines of 3 for 45 to 50. I think that's about right.
So, again, Jorge Polanco will reportedly make a decision on where he wants to sign this week from the winter meetings. Bump, do you think it'll be the Mariners? Do you want it to be the Mariners?
Yeah, of course. He had a great season, lots of great moments. Kind of got this team rolling early, and to me, it's weird because the year before everyone's booing him and ready to kick him to the curb, and then Shannon comes in preseason and tells us, hey, or during spring training, it was like, look, man, he was battling injuries. They're going to take care of him this year. You didn't see him play too much defense. I think the way they managed his body allowed him to have the season that he has. So if they're comfortable with that and have their guys in place at second base, yeah, I'm good with Polanco. I'm good with him coming back.
Now, Curtis, we are going to have Seattle Times' Adam Jude on later in the show. His colleague Ryan Divish has a column out talking about Jorge Polanco's market and mentions that Polanco could be looking for a 3-year deal with an average annual salary, or preferably 4, but at least 3, with an AAV of more than $12 million. Do you think that that's suitable for the Mariners? Too rich for their blood?
I think they might balk at the years rather than the dollar amount. Yeah, I think anything beyond 2 years with Polanco, especially with his injury history, is a bit of a gamble. The dollar amount is no issue. I think they can make that absolutely work because $12 million is about what he's made the last couple of years. I think the years might be where there's a bit of a sticking point there. And I mean, look, the Mariners have kind of, I wouldn't say they've explicitly made it known, but like you hear their name involved in Ketel Marte trade talks, and that would be not just a pivot, but I think that'd be an improvement over Jorge Polanco.
I feel like they'd want so much for Marte, though. Like then you're talking about, like if you're anyone who thought trading Harry Ford, you didn't get enough back or you are uncomfortable with it, you're going to be pretty uncomfortable with what you'll deal for Ketel Marte.
Yeah, I think Marte being the all-star caliber player that he is, and also you're getting him for the next 5 years too. He signed a pretty lofty extension just a couple of years ago, 5 years. I think $91 million is what he's due over the course of that stretch. So you're not trading for Ketel Marte just for this year, but you're signing up for many years with him.
Bump, some of the fun of the winter meetings is when those big moves are made. For many years, we felt like we really wanted the Mariners to make one. Come on, just push yourself over the edge. This team has been focused a lot on running it back. Are you happy with a Mariners offseason where they don't make a big splash move, but instead try to bring back as many of those pieces? I guess what I'm asking is, are you good with the way the team is mostly right now?
Yeah, I am. If you can get Polanco back, for sure. I mean, and what are the big names that are out there? You got Bregman.
Not ones that you're going to get. Bo Bichette, they're not going to get
there are names out there, but it doesn't make sense for this situation over here. I don't see too many situations there. No, I'm good with them running it back and bringing just some other pieces, man. I didn't expect him to have a big signing, a big splash. The big splash was Naylor.
Yeah.
Naylor, Polanco, figure out what to do with Geno. Let's fill in some spots, help out the bullpen. It's there's less to do this offseason. Last offseason, the one before, it felt like you got to do something special. They wait to the trade deadline to do that. So I think because of what they've done and how they perform, it doesn't like not make this offseason as important, but it just changes the strategy a bit.
Curtis, it sure seems like from all these offseason reports and even the conversations we're having that Geno is by no means a priority, right? We talked about Naylor endlessly. We all wanted him back. And right now we're talking about Polanco because both Bump and I would guess you agree that like that's your next priority. Bring him back. I don't know what they're doing at third. Do you expect them to roll with Williamson?
I think right now, yeah, Williamson and maybe even Colt Emerson. I think that could potentially be what you see as the more likely third base pairing outside of a potential reunion with Geno Suarez. I forget who it was on ESPN.com. It may have been Kylie McDaniel when he was talking about his biggest free agent risks and had Geno Suarez as that because, I mean, we all know what Geno profiles as. He's a home run hitter, yes, but his defense isn't improving. He doesn't make a whole lot of consistent contact, but the power is still there, obviously. Hit nearly 50 home runs last year. That's kind of a profile that's hard to bank on year in and year out. And, I mean, we've seen good Geno. We've seen bad Geno. Very, very volatile results from him year over year, and I don't know if the Mariners want to sign up for that necessarily for 2-3 years. I can deal with it for a half season. Like bringing him back last year when they did, like absolutely go do that. Go get a guy who can carry an offense for a week at a time. But committing 2 years, 3 years to Geno at this stage in his career, where I think he's 34 or something like that.
Yeah,
that might be a bit of a risk on any team's part.
Or as Colin Cowherd would say,
Yeah.
From the 360, let's get back to that Ketel Marte conversation for a second here. If the Mariners want to improve, says the 360, and they really want to win a World Series, then go get Marte. You have to give up some prospects in one picture. So what do you want to get better? Just not stay the same. I think what they're saying is that, I think that was voice to text. I think what they're saying is, if you want to be a World Series team, you are going to need to do more. I know we love the idea of running it back, and everyone's a little more comfortable this offseason than they were in years past when it felt like they had nothing, right? Getting back Naylor soothed a lot of that anxiety pretty quickly. But you have a lot of prospects that you're not going to be using this year. Why? I know that you could obviously use them down the road and that those prospects are great. They have one of the highest-ranked farm systems. But are you going to be a World Series contender in 2028 or 2029 in the same way that you are right now? Jeff Passan thinks that the Mariners should be big game hunting.
I think if you're the Seattle Mariners right now, you are big game hunting. You are going for the best players available because you were that close to getting to the World Series last year, and the team that would just edge things out against you got beaten in the same fashion in the World Series. So you are a true, legitimate World Series contender. And I think if you get Ketel Marte, you probably go into the season as the American League favorite. Depending on what Toronto does, if they go and sign Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette, then maybe that's a little bit different story. But right now, I think the Mariners can put themselves in position to be the favorites in the American League entering the 2026 season.
Bump, another listener backing that up. He says the Mariners weren't good enough to win the World Series last year, though. They do need to improve.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, there's no question. Every year you need to improve. I mean, the Dodgers are still improving, right? They won that thing 2 years in a row, and they're improving. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with big game hunting. I'm okay with running it back with what you have and adding little pieces here or there. At this point, all right, has management earned the benefit of the doubt because of what they've done the last couple of seasons as far as acquisitions and what this team did last year? Because I remember being told a couple times before this season started by someone pretty high up, spoke to you and I, and he was like, no, legit, guys, this is a good ball club. Like, this team is going to be good. And you and I, oh, yeah, it's going to be fine. Then he leaves the room. We look at each other like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
And they backed it up. So have they found a formula or process that works? If they go big game hunting, okay. If they don't, then add a few pieces, okay.
All right. We are going to stick with the winter meetings. We are going to get back to the Seahawks. Rob Staton of Seahawks Draft Blog is joining us at noon, about an hour from now. Coming up next, talking Mariners with Seattle Times' Adam Jude.
The Mike McDonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
If I ask you a question about Nicky Manwari, are you going to start talking about all the things that he didn't do well? Because I know how you are, but it's just...
Do I do that?
You do that a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, no, he had a tremendous game. There's some things to clean up. Warms your heart to watch it. It's just high-level effort, and he's so close, and so I was really happy that he made that play, changed the tide of the game.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linen, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do. Visit suplinen.com.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for Refractive Lens Exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
When my windshield cracked, I called All-Star Auto Glass. All-Star's money stays in the Northwest. SafeLight sends money to shareholders in Europe. All-Star supports the local economy. If this happens to you, call All-Star Auto Glass.
Hey folks, John Curley here. When that December chill hits and your house feels colder than it should, comfort matters. And comfort isn't just warm air. It's knowing your home is ready for the winter and knowing exactly who to call if something breaks. People who show up on time, tell you straight what's going on, and fix it without turning it into a sales pitch. That's why I trust Home Comfort Alliance. If your heating, plumbing, or electrical needs attention, call the comfort people at Home Comfort Alliance or visit homecomfortalliance.com.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hey, it's Desmond Howard. You want to win the weekend? It all starts with the tailgate. And for me, that means Kingsford Charcoal.
They've been bringing the flavor, the smoke, and the heat since 1920. No wonder they're still the gold standard of grilling. So fire it up, feed your crew, and let the smoke do the talking. Kingsford, the king of the tailgate. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines.
fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
News from the winter meetings today. Per ESPN's Jeff Passan, Kyle Schwarber is back with the Phillies on a 5-year, $150 million deal. What's happening with Detroit ace Tarek Skubal? Still no real update on whether or not he'll be moved, but Tigers president Scott Harris told MLB Network yesterday that, quote, they're listening to every opportunity, no matter how unlikely or likely it is to happen. And finally, still unsigned is infielder Jorge Polanco, though ESPN's Jesse Rogers reports Polanco will make a decision this week.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Joining us right now, Seattle Times reporter Adam Jude on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. And Adam, before we get into Mariners-specific questions, set the scene for us out there at the winter meetings. Is it as chaotic as it sounds?
It is pretty chaotic. It's a little bit smaller of a venue this year, too. We're kind of at the Disney World Resort adjacent anyway. I can watch the fireworks out from my hotel window, so that's fun at night. But, so it's a little bit tighter, let's say, this year. And so you're kind of bumping shoulders with dudes in their quarter zip polos and
lots of khakis.
Walking, yes, all the khakis and the on shoes. It's a little tight around here, and long lines for lunch and coffee. And at the same time, everyone's just here to talk and chat and find out what's going on and swing deals. And, you pass by Scott Boras in the hallway and you're like, oh, hey, you guys you see all the time, the sort of the big shots in the baseball world. And they're all here. This is the annual convention for baseball, right? And this is the place to be and the place to be seen. And so, things happen. And I think everyone was kind of waiting for today. Kyle Schwarber signs this morning, Edwin Diaz. So it feels like the market's finally starting to move. The dam has been broken a little bit, and we'll see if that creates a flurry of action here over the next day or two.
Adam, how many years have you been going to those?
So I think this is just my third year. A little experience, but not the savage vet as of yet.
Okay, but you've been there enough to kind of see like the personality of the Mariners change a bit, right? I mean, almost making it to the World Series a couple years ago, making the playoffs and missing it or whatnot. Has the perception of the Mariners, does it feel like it's changed a bit when you go to those things?
Yeah, that's a good question, Bump. And I asked Dan Wilson about that yesterday in sort of a roundabout way too, and just in terms of the expectations and the feeling for him compared to last year at this point, and then going into 26, right? They're going to be the favorites and probably the overwhelming favorites in the AL West, and certainly one of the best teams in the American League. And that's not only sort of their internal expectation and belief right now, but I think industry-wide, we're seeing that as well. Like the Mariners have been a good team the last 5 years. They broke through in 22 and obviously came up just short in 23 and 24. Obviously a lot of frustration and disappointment there, but it felt like this year was there's so many things, but certainly cathartic and rewarding for everyone in the organization. But I also think it reaffirmed their belief in themselves. Like, okay, we've been on the right path, and this shows it. And now we're just gonna stick with who we are and what we do. We can speculate and we can link the Mariners to some big names and big free agents and big trades and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, the Mariners are not going to have a top 10 payroll in baseball. They've been pretty clear about that. They're going to be right in the middle of the pack. And so they've been disciplined over the last 5 years in terms of, who they're targeting and who they're spending their money on. And they're also really upfront about what they're doing, developing in the prospects in the minor leagues. And they want to give those young guys, those young kids, opportunities. And I think that's what we're going to see in the spring training as well. They're really high on Cole Young still at second base. They're really high on Ben Williamson and Colt Emerson at third base. Again, there's a long way to go here in the offseason and the winter, but things can certainly happen. Jorge Polanco, Brendan Donovan's name we can talk about a little bit more, Ketel Marte. But I think as things stand, the most likely scenario is that you've got some young guys at two key spots on the infield, and the Mariners are going to let those guys grow because they've developed them and because you have them pretty cheap for the next 6-7 years. And that's just sort of the method and the economics of Mariners baseball right now.
Let's talk about Donovan a little bit. We'll talk about some of those different options, get to Polanco as well, but we'll start with Donovan. How would he fit with this team?
I think he's an ideal fit, and I think the Mariners are going to be aggressive to try to land Brendan Donovan from St. Louis. In fact, I know the Mariners have already been aggressive. I will say that everything I've heard up until yesterday was that St. Louis is not ready to engage yet on Brendan Donovan. St. Louis just went through a major overhaul in their front office, a new president, new GM there. And so they're sort of being really methodical. They traded Sonny Gray to the Red Sox a couple weeks ago, and I think they're kind of going down their list. All right, what's next? And we know that they've been looking at all the farm systems, doing sort of an audit of other teams' farm system, and try to pick out guys that they really like. And I think the Mariners, as we know, have one of the best prospect systems in the game, and they can match or beat any offer that's out there. And I think Brendan Donovan, as a left-handed hitter, high contact hitter, has one of the lowest strikeout rates in all of baseball. He has a chance to hit 300 every year. He's in the prime of his career. He can play second base, left field, a little third base if you need. He would be kind of the alternative to Jorge Polanco, but in a lot of ways, I do feel like he almost fits even better than Jorge Polanco. He's 4 years younger. And again, really low strikeout rate, has a chance to maybe even lead off for you if you're the Mariners, high on base guy. We'll see. All that said, I think 25 other teams would really covet Brendan Donovan right now too. So if and when the Cardinals do make him available, I think they're going to have a lot of interest, and we'll see how serious the Mariners are. Again, I don't expect that to happen necessarily this week just because of how slow and how methodical St. Louis is moving. But when that does move, I think the Mariners will be ready to pounce.
Say you don't get Donovan, Polanco goes elsewhere. How comfortable are you with Cole Young being that guy there? And would you feel like there still needs to be a major move if they go that route?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've been sort of operating all along this offseason that the Mariners will get one of Brendan Donovan or Jorge Polanco. I doubt they get both, but I think that they're fairly confident and optimistic that they'll be able to land at least one of them. All that said, Cole Young came up this year as a 21-year-old. He was a top prospect, a first-round pick for a reason. He's developed exactly how you want a young player to develop all the way up through the minor leagues. He had a stretch there of really productive at-bats and productive play for the Mariners this summer, but really fell into a deep slump in August and really didn't see any playing time, as we know, in September, and certainly didn't make the rosters for the playoffs. But again, he's a 22-year-old kid. He's going to have to make his adjustments, but the Mariners are still very high on him. And, again, could they include him in a Brendan Donovan deal or maybe a Ketel Marte package? You never say never, but this is a guy the Mariners for 4 years now have really been touting and have been really excited about. And again, right now he's penciled in as your starting second baseman. And if the season started tomorrow, I think the Mariners would be very comfortable with Cole Young as their second baseman.
What could a deal for Donovan related look like? And is there a prospect that you think, like, I could see St. Louis being interested in this guy, but it's too rich for the Mariners' blood?
Yeah, there's quite a few of it. Mariners, they're certainly top heavy with their prospects, and that's a good problem to have. They've had 8 of these prospects on all these top 100 lists, and it's more than anyone in baseball. So it's just a matter of, hey, are the Mariners making Colt Emerson untouchable? That's not a word that the Mariners throw around lightly, untouchable, because I think they would consider just about anybody outside of, Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez and really their pitchers in a lot of deals. But, Colt Emerson, they see as, their starting shortstop in the near future and a potential Corey Seager type impact bat. And I'd be stunned if they were willing to move Colt Emerson. I would be stunned as well if the two young pitchers, Cade Anderson, who they selected with the 3rd overall pick this year, and then Ryan Sloan, a guy that they're really enamored with as well. They drafted him out of high school a couple years ago. So those 3 for me, Sloan, Cade Anderson, and Cole Emerson, I would be stunned if the Mariners move those guys. But the rest of them, you have to be willing to listen. If you want to bring in somebody good and cost controlled and a guy that fits you so well like Brendan Donovan, obviously you're going to have to give up something and probably something painful. And I do think the Mariners will listen, and they'd be willing to move maybe more than just one of those top 10 guys too. It might take 2 top 10 guys and probably a pitcher because everyone needs pitching. Certainly St. Louis does, and Arizona does as well. So the Mariners will listen. We'll see how aggressive they want to be. I don't think they're in a desperate situation by any means. The Mariners, again, they're comfortable with what they have and who they are. They've been saying it from the outset of the offseason. We're going to try to run it back with our same core group. We like who we are. We're right there. And we have some studs coming up in the system too, so that it's not like they needed to reinvent the wheel by any means. But certainly I think Mariners fans are excited because, look, you're right there. Let's get that one more piece to put us over the top or get us right back there. And I do think the Mariners, there's a sentiment that they feel the same way, and they're certainly trying to get something done here.
Hey, what's your approach when it comes to collecting information? Because when I used to go to the Pac-12 media days, it's like you see people having conversation. You might position yourself in an area where you can kind of listen in and see what's going on. Like, what's that like for you collecting all this information?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily one of those reporters kind of waiting in the dark corner of the hallway, and when I see someone walk by, sort of pounce on them or anything. It's more phone calls and text messages as much as anything. But it's a good setup here, and every team has their own suite and their own corners. And I will say, we met with, Jerry Dipoto and Justin Hollander yesterday in the Mariners suite in one corner of the Waldorf Astoria here. And then as we were leaving, coming in was the Padres general manager, AJ Preller. And he was like, he saw us and he was like, don't get any ideas. He's like, our room is just right. It happens to be right across the hallway, their suite. So the Padres and the Mariners have been frequent trade partners over the years. And so if they wanted to make a deal, it would be pretty darn easy here this week since they're neighbors for temporarily. But again, it's the relationships that you formed and the trust that you've built, and that as reporters and journalists, that's what you have to lean on, your credibility and the fact that your sources can trust you, and you're not trying to burn anyone. We're just trying to figure out what's going on, where there's smoke, and where rumors are just rumors, and where some of these rumors actually have some teeth. And so, it's a fun week. It's a little bit of a stressful week. You're up early, you're constantly checking your phone, waiting for that next Jeff Passan bomb. But the Mariners, again, I will say to their credit, they've been pretty transparent from the very beginning about what they're trying to do. They said, we're going to go out. Josh Naylor's our number one priority, and bang, they did that right away. First major move of any team in the offseason, and they knew that was their anchor. That was the deal they had to make. They probably paid a little bit more than they would have been comfortable with in the normal circumstance, but because Josh Naylor was such a perfect fit for them, they knew they had to get it done, and then that allowed them to kind of go out and be opportunistic here elsewhere and go get a Jose Ferrer, a guy that they think has a chance to be a real stud in the 7th and 8th innings. He can touch 100 miles per hour, and I know some fans were upset and frustrated and confused that, had to take a top prospect like Harry Ford to do it. But again, Harry Ford was only going to be a backup catcher for the Mariners for the foreseeable future. So I think that's a great deal for the Mariners and a great one for Harry Ford too. He's going to get a chance to go to Washington and be an everyday catcher there.
Do you anticipate a reunion with Garver, or could this team turn elsewhere for just a backup? I know that's not quite the same level of priority, but while we have you, figured we'd ask.
Of course, yeah. No, there aren't a ton of proven backup options out there, and I will say I think Mitch Garver was a good fit. He was a popular guy in the clubhouse. He worked hard for the pitchers. He didn't live up to the contract he signed 2 years ago to be the primary DH, but obviously you wouldn't be looking at the same sort of deal by any means for him. And again, the familiarity there is important. His right-handed bat didn't fit well in T-Mobile Park, but when you're only asking him to be a backup catcher and maybe get 8 to 10 at bats a week, obviously it's a much different scenario. And I think the Mariners certainly will talk to him if they haven't already, and they're going to need to bring in certainly one backup catcher and maybe even two for some depth.
What's the most interesting conversation you've had so far? And I know there's a lot of stuff that you can't disclose to us, but what conversation have you walked away from saying, all right, that was a good one?
Yeah, it was fun sitting down with Dan Wilson again. This was they have a press conference, a mini sort of a media gathering for all the managers here too. And it was just cool to hear from Dan and reflecting a little bit and, his optimism looking forward. Obviously, Dan Wilson is the picture of optimism in any scenario, in any setting, but it's certainly genuine and it's certainly real about this team and about his time. And, it's a guy who, I kind of, I don't want to say deer in the headlights a year ago at this thing, but he was new to it, right? He came to this thing last year the first time and, you call it a car wash, right? He goes through the MLB network and all the media interviews and all that stuff. And he just kind of had been out of practice. Certainly hadn't done it in this chair before as the manager. So it's cool to see him maybe a little more relaxed, but also a little more open about some things. And again, his excitement, his expectations for this team, because I think that's the most important thing that happened for the Mariners this year, was providing that stability in the clubhouse. And you talk to players and Cal Raleigh specifically. Cal's relationship with Dan, I think, went a long way for not only Cal, but for the rest of the clubhouse too, because Cal really empowered those guys and Cal specifically to sort of, grow up and kind of be a leader, but take charge of this clubhouse and really set the expectations as a player's clubhouse here too. Dan set the tone, but he also wanted the players to police themselves, to set their own, expectations and guidelines and hold themselves accountable. And I think that went a long way for this team this year too. And so seeing Dan a little more comfortable in this chair, I think will only be a good thing for the Mariners going forward.
Adam, before we let you go, where can people find more this week? It's a very busy week. I know that part of what you're doing is information gathering as an insider, but you're also certainly going to have some stuff up on the Seattle Times. So what can fans look forward to?
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, we'll talk more about the infield stuff. Mariners are in this staring contest with Jorge Polanco right now. So, yeah, we'll certainly have more stuff at the Seattle Times throughout the week, and then certainly throughout the offseason until they finish this roster off.
He is Adam Jude, joining us from the Seattle Times. Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, guys.
The season of giving starts early. Our Holiday Magic online auction is now opening for bidding, with proceeds benefiting Treehouse and youth and foster care across Washington. Then join us tomorrow, December 10th, as our sister station, Cairo News Radio, celebrates 37 years of Holiday Magic with a full day of inspiring stories, special guests, and ways you can help make the season brighter. So bid, give, and learn more at mynorthwest.com/holidaymagic or text MAGIC to 866-979-3776. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Bump, what do you hope the Colts continue to do this weekend?
Continue to play man defense. They play 28% of the time. This is going to be the most that the Seahawks have seen it. We'll see if they adjust a little bit because of their quarterback situation, but continue to play man, because Jason has the second most receptions in football when it comes to man coverage. He can beat anybody one-on-one. We saw what he did to Singleton. One of the best in the game. He's unstoppable at this point. And we saw last week he scored a touchdown in man coverage against the Atlanta Falcons. Inside release went across the field. So, yeah, if they continue to be who they are, you never know, because of their situation, they may adjust. But continue to play man, because I feel like not only can JSN get it done, Cooper Kupp get it done as well, and whoever else comes in, Cody White. I believe in what this scheme allows these wideouts to do.
Second down. Seahawks running backs had 2 drops last week, but you are not concerned. Why?
Yeah, I was concerned when it happened. I'm like, man, what's going on with these dudes? And it wasn't like they were tough catches. They just dropped them. You got Charbonnet, who's running an angle route across the field. He drops it. You got Ken Walker, who's running a spot route. He drops it. But I'm not concerned because the catch rate or completion rate to Ken Walker is 80%. The completion rate to Zach Charbonnet is 84%. So in the moment, I'm like, man, what are these guys doing? But when you go back and look at the numbers, they are pretty consistent when it comes to catching the rock. The numbers aren't big. I think one has like 14 receptions, the other one has like 20 receptions. But when throwing the football, typically they catch that rock. Let's see if they can bounce back this week.
Third down. What did all of the Seahawks' explosive runs from this game have in common?
I didn't have too many, only like 4. All right.
But however,
they had a common theme. They're all gap schemes. So gap scheme is when you're pulling guards, you're pulling tackles, and it was what was refreshing was there was a play. When was our last game at home? Who we played? The Minnesota Vikings. There's a play where Anthony Bradford is pulling. You're down on the 5-yard line or inside the 10. He's pulling to his left, and he completely whiffs on his block. Like, he falls forward, and then people are making memes and on my guy's head. The same play they ran, and he lights the dude up. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about with Anthony Bradford. That's what people don't see is that he made a mistake one week. He corrected it the following week. Good for him. So gap scheme. We got 2 guards pulling. We got a fullback and a guard pulling. All the big runs were off a gap scheme. And we know that the foundation of this team is wide zone, wide zone, wide zone. So I like that the gap scheme got going a little bit. Only 4 or 5 runs, but it was essentially the same thing. Pulling your guards, maybe add a fullback in there, and the running back's just getting downhill right now.
Fourth down. What's the worst thing about playing the Colts on Sunday?
Who's going to be a quarterback? What is he going to look like?
I couldn't tell you.
Maybe you got a few snaps with Leonard in there, and you can scout him out then. But I also believe that the Seahawks are to the point where it's more about them. Like, they can handle whatever. But if I'm a coordinator, I'm a coach, you're trying to prepare your guys. And I think that's what the Seahawks do better than a lot of people to prepare their guys is, all right, who are we preparing for? And players are going to come out, coaches are going to come out, and they say, it doesn't matter who we're preparing for. We prepare the same no matter what. But it does matter. All right, we've seen backups come to Lumen Field and win ball games because you just don't know their style. You don't really know who they are, and there's a couple wrinkles in every play. So that's the worst thing about playing the Colts, minus Jonathan Taylor, is that you don't know who their quarterback is going to be. You don't know what style of play they really have, how this OC is going to attack. He's not going to deviate from who he is. There's going to be some RPOs with the Colts that do a lot of that. But, yeah, you don't know who the quarterback is.
You know what's interesting about the kind of conversations I'm imagining they're having in Indianapolis is they're like, well, God, in any other game you'd say, well, lean into Jonathan Taylor. And no matter who you play, a defense is going to know that you're going to be trying to do that and load the box, whatever. I would imagine that's an especially tricky task against Seattle's defense that hasn't allowed a 100-yard rusher in
22 weeks.
22 weeks.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Does Jonathan Taylor get a 100-yard game today? Or excuse me, Sunday? And is that the approach you would take if you were Indy's offensive staff?
You have to.
You have to. That's what I'm saying. You kind of have to.
You got to. You got to touch it 30, 35 times.
I mean, for a minute there, I remember thinking in the first quarter, certainly, the first 5 plays were all Bijan Robinson from the Falcons. And I remember thinking, I wonder if this is the game. You had been talking about Bijan all week long, saying, this guy's not getting a lot of attention. He's 5 yards away from 1,000 yards, and he might be the best running back in football. No one's talking about him because the Falcons have 4 wins. And so I was thinking about that, not only all week, but then in that game, first 5 plays, 1 reception and 4 rushes, and it's all him just moving. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah, once he got to 80-some yards on the ground, I told myself, yeah, this is it.
And then, obviously, just Kirk Cousins turns the ball over.
Yeah, he turned the ball over, too.
Yeah. So it didn't end up happening, but I wonder... I'm not afraid, but I kind of have that kind of, is that what Jonathan Taylor's going to look like? Is it going to look like Jonathan Taylor's the only weapon, but it's working because he's so talented? And what is this run defense who's been so great? What does it look like against that?
True test.
Yeah.
That run defense.
I also appreciate the text line for telling me good question because they said that your head's just going to get too big. You're going to get too many good questions. First, Jim Bowden. Now Adam Jude gave you 2, and it's just going to get to your head.
You know, I just...
and you're going to change.
No, I never change. Well, yeah, I'll change on Saturday. That's for sure. Cody!
God. The latest on Tarek Skubal, and good news for Jerry Dipoto coming up next.
Looking for a gap. He's got one. He's off to the races. Look out. They're not going to touch him. Touchdown! Seahawks!
make it back-to-back 10-win seasons for the Seahawks, but they're just getting started.
We building a brotherhood, that's what it's about.
It's the Seahawks' quest to win the NFC West.
Honestly, we got a lot of special dudes on this team.
Placement, and it's blocked.
Yes.
Guess who? It's Eamon Warren. Yeah, guess who?
And it's only on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
People want to do business with someone they can trust, who's a real person. They don't feel like you're just going after their money. And when you take the time to get to know them, get to know their needs, remember their name, remember their kids' names, and just be there to help them and sort of, not be a car salesman, but be a consultant, then they feel more comfortable with you, and the experience is better on both sides. Each individual person has an opportunity to sort of unveil our company spirit and their own individual personality and their ability to serve. I myself, I have helped some families in the sense that, I've helped mom, helped dad, and then 2 years later, here's our daughter, she needs a car now. And it's one of the biggest compliments to know that you've earned this family's trust, that now you're their guy. You want to be their guy.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafeet from locally owned Pello Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pello Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PelloPNW.com. That's PelloPNW.com.
Bump here. Seattle Youth Men's Basketball is hosting big games at Climate Pledge. Come see Washington State, and Gonzaga. Next game is December 19th against UW. Tickets as low as $20. Grab your tickets at GoSeattleU.com/tickets. Red Hawks rising.
Okay. Only 10 more presents to wrap. You're almost at the finish line. But first... There, the last one. Enjoy a Coca-Cola for a pause that refreshes.
Hey, it's Brock Ewart here, and you got to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It could save you a lot of money and get your family better coverage. First Mark has saved my family thousands of dollars every year. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Gonna let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to mydataqb.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or mydataqb.com.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're planning to propose this holiday, we're ready to make creating your engagement ring a warm, welcoming experience. At Shane Company, we're all about your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Explore the widest selection of diamonds and ring settings ready for you to see in person, or visit us at shaneco.com. You'll have your ring in days, not weeks. Our friendly jewelry consultants don't work on commission. There's never any pressure, just perfect proposals. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Good news for Jerry Dipoto. That's leading off the timeline. That's because that's where we saw it. On the timeline, Jerry Dipoto earned one of baseball's highest honors for front office members. He was named Baseball America's 2025 Executive of the Year. Congratulations to Jerry Dipoto. Again, it's not MLB's. Baseball America's 2025 Executive of the Year. And for as much criticism as Jerry Dipoto has gotten, many of which I think are fair critiques for front office members, completely normal, I also think he's earned this. Congratulations to Jerry Dipoto, to the entirety of that front office, including Justin Hollander, for a great midseason trade deadline, for signing Cal before the season. I mean, Bump, so many things that they did.
Save so much money signing Cal before the season.
So much money.
So much money. No, this is well deserved, man. And I think it can be both. It can be, all right, when you feel like the team isn't doing enough, you're talking about the moves that he has made and hasn't made and holding him accountable. But when he does pull off some good trades, when things do pan out, this team has gone places they haven't been before, you got to pat him on the back, too, because I feel like people, especially in today's climate, man, people are quick to hate.
Yes.
And the love just ain't there.
Yep.
So the same way you was hating on Jerry, pat him on the back a couple times.
You know what I think it is? I think people decide, like, I've decided that this person – let's say this person's not a good coach, this person's not a good executive, this person's not a good player, and you don't know what to do with information that can also support them being good at doing something. So this was an incredibly impressive trade deadline for the Mariners. They've had many in a row. Randy Arozarena prior to that, Castillo prior to that. I mean, Curtis, they've done good things. I saw you nodding along.
Yeah, I think it's funny how this news comes down, and I think a lot of Mariners fans knee-jerk reaction is kind of like, for what?
And then
what has he done? It's
wait,
like,
a lot.
Yes, there has been a lot of like frustrating moves the Mariners have made. Like, we don't need to go over them, but like, there's still been a lot of good. Like, this Mariners team last year was one of the best teams in franchise history. They went further than any team in franchise history. That doesn't happen without at least some good moves being made. So,
well, and some of them
Mariners are in a good spot.
Some of them are moves that paid off years later, right? Constructing this pitching staff. I know that they were better in 2024 than they were in 2025, but part of that's injuries. It's not because they got those pieces wrong. It's just that a lot of those pieces got hurt. But like assembling a pitching staff that's still really great and very cheap. I know Castillo has that deal, but like a lot of these are homegrown guys. Bringing back go back to the initial announcement of Jorge Polanco being signed again by this team, and you will find plenty of people, and including me. I didn't comment on it, but I remember on air we said something like, a retread project again or something, and that ended up being phenomenal. So
yeah,
well deserved.
Big ups, Jerry.
Let's stick with baseball here. Did Tigers president of baseball operations Scott Harris tell MLB Network that he's open for business on a potential deal of Tarek Skubal?
The clearest way I can answer that is I don't believe in untouchable players at any level. It's not a commentary on Tarek. It's more of a blanket approach to building a winning organization. My job is to make this organization better. I got to find ways to make this organization better, which means that I need to listen to every opportunity, no matter how likely or unlikely it is to actually happen. I got to listen because we got to get better as an organization. That's our approach. We don't have everything figured out, but it's led to a ton of success in a very short period of time. And I can stand here or sit here and credibly say that we have both a bright present and a bright future. And this approach has led to that.
Look, it's not my team. I can't be here criticizing them. But how does having Tarek Skubal not make you better?
It does. what
it's
if you
paying
get
Tarek Skubal, but you also have to be willing to.
You can get Skubal. I mean, there's a move out there that makes you better without Skubal. I can't tell you what it is, but there's a move out there, and he's supposed to say this though.
Yeah.
He's supposed to listen. If you don't listen, you're not doing your job. He can listen and then hang up the phone and be laughing at a dude like, you're tripping. Why would you even talk to me about Skubal? But he has to let it be known. Look, we're open for business.
Mm-hmm.
Will you like our counters? Maybe not, especially when it comes to Skubal.
Mm-hmm. Like, I get it. Detroit, they're not big spenders. The whole point is like, well, if we spend on Skubal, then we're taking away from being good elsewhere. But that's a choice in MLB for a lot of teams, as opposed to in the NFL. You know, we have that endless conversation about if you're paying a quarterback 20+% of your salary cap, then what happens to the rest of the team? Like, yeah, it's a real conversation that people can have. But Tigers, if I were you, I'd hang on to Skubal. Everyone in college football's tired, Bump. ASU head coach Kenny Dillingham became the latest to weigh in on the state of the game and called it a hot mess.
We've created a mess. Point blank. The whole industry is a mess. Right? The only thing that's not a mess is the dollar signs. Those are still pointing up. Everything else is a mess. The dollar sign, the business of it, that's skyrocketing. Everything else is a mess. That's just being transparent and honest. There's not, other than the ratings, the dollars, the money involved, it's a mess. Yeah. So this is just another piece of the mess.
Kenny talks like such a head coach. Like there's a certain brand of head coach, you know what I mean, where he's just trying to drop some bars. I'm not even critiquing it, but I'm saying everything's a mess. Only thing pointing up is the dollar sign. You just know someone's in the background like, I heard that.
I met with him before his first game of the year. I called it, who they play? Northern Arizona. That's him at all times. That is him. And he's right. But here's the thing. The head coaches started this mess. The reason why the head coaches started this mess because they were the ones who would leave universities at the drop of a dime to go get more money. And it created this unfairness because you're looking at these young athletes who can't leave, who are obligated by contract to stay at these schools, and even if their situation doesn't fit them, and now they're producing all this money, and they finally, you know, someone had a voice and said, look, well, we need to have the same option that these coaches have, and we are the product. We're the ones who are on the football field. And then the NCAA contributes to the mess because they have no backbone. There's no structure. You just said, okay, let's open up the floodgates and let's just go without any type of structure. It's like sending a kid out to the world and you have not prepared him or her for what is to come. So it is a mess. He's absolutely right. And I don't see it getting fixed anytime soon. It's going to take years to do this.
Why did the coaches get kind of removed from that conversation about why college football is a mess? Because I can tell you right now that if we were to have a town hall saying, what's the problem with college football, you'd get a good number of people standing up saying, I'll take the mic, and they'd say NIL deals. These players, transfer portal. These players, they can't hack it. They're not staying at the same school. They're getting too much money. Schools are able to just buy championships. I think I'd listen to 10 people talk before I'd hear someone say head coaches. And yet, what messes have we been talking about for the last several weeks?
It is a bit of a double standard when coaches preach the importance of the transfer portal and then they take another job and the portal opens up specifically for that school for a certain period of time. It's like, okay, you're also a big reason why this exists is like just the constant moving around.
Yeah.
Like
because
you can't build a program anymore.
It's the newest mess. That's why. It's like, oh, the transfer portal, NIL, that's the newest mess. These kids, it's a privilege. Love you, Dave Wyman. It's a privilege to get an education. It's a privilege for you to have me go play for your school and make a whole bunch of money, too. So, yeah, man, it ain't getting clean anytime soon.
I think you're right, though. I think it's literally the adult of dynamics versus kids. And I know that we're talking about kids that are legally adults and that we're talking about coaches, but, like, it really is this kind of, like, well, but the kids are lucky to get paid and lucky to be here. They're certainly entitled. That must be what it is. And there may be an element of truth to feelings about, you know, kids being entitled or not willing to stick it out or whatever. But yeah, it's interesting that there is no part of the conversation focused entirely on like, well, how do you stop coaches from leaving a school like Washington State high and dry for 3 consecutive seasons? What now? Like Washington State isn't sitting here. I mean, you're having these conversations. Are people sitting around going, these students just aren't loyal? I know there are quarterback conversations, but like, the single biggest problem facing Washington State outside of a completely collapsed Pac-12 are coaches leaving.
Yeah, coaches gone.
Yeah.
I mean, they set the foundation.
The Heisman Trophy finalists were announced Monday. Speaking of college football, the 4 who will be on stage in New York City are Diego Pavia, Fernando Mendoza. Congratulations on that win, Fernando. Ohio State quarterback Julian Sayin, and Jeremiah Love.
Jeremiah Love. I know Fernando is going to get a whole bunch of love, as he should. Undefeated over there with Indiana. Saying, I think, is, man, it's hard for me to talk crap about these kids, but they are getting paid now, so I can say it. It's overrated.
Respect.
And,
I love it.
And Pavia is a great story. And, I mean, he's a baller, but he's a great story. Jeremiah Love is the best football player.
All right. Still to come, we're going to talk Seahawks, take a look at the NFC, a look back at the Falcons a bit, and then definitely a look ahead to the Colts with Seahawks draft logs, Rob Staton. Coming up next, the player one Mariners reporter says is the perfect fit for Seattle, potentially even a better fit than Jorge Polanco.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
Nick Eamon is with us. Can you think back to a game where you had more production?
I think yesterday was probably like the most complete I've played.
This is long before you were born. This is actually when I was playing. 1991, the last time somebody had 2 tackles for loss, a sack, an interception, and a field goal block.
They had told me that stat yesterday. I was pretty amazed by it. You know, it's been a long time, but I'm just grateful and blessed for it to be me.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube. Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. You know, one of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
It's a freezing night, and suddenly your heating dies. A fix could take several days or longer. Don't let this happen to you. If your system's 12 years or older, it's on borrowed time. Upgrade now to a dependable Mitsubishi electric heating and air conditioning system and keep your family comfortable. Schedule a consultation today at HomeComfortAlliance.com. For all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, visit Visit HomecomfortAlliance.com. That's HomecomfortAlliance.com. And happy holidays to all.
It's here, the Light the World giving machines at the Alderwood and South Hill malls. With a swipe of your credit card, donate a chicken, school supplies, meals, and more. Go to givingmachinewa.org.
The Puyallup Tribe of Indians and Salish Cancer Center are excited to announce the 3rd annual Giving Hope Gala. You can help support the Giving Hope Gala December 13th at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center and raise money for the Patient Financial Assistance Fund. The Salish Cancer Center helps anyone battling cancer, and attending this incredible event supports that cause. For tickets, sponsorship, and additional information on the Giving Hope Gala, visit puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here. For my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group, are you tired of just grilling in the cold and rain every winter in the Northwest? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the wintry months. And I've got a special offer for you right now. Take advantage of off-season savings through December and get up to 20% off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Most people don't consider building a deck in winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, then contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming, designing, and approving your project so you're ready to build by the spring. Remember, planning and permits take time, so get started right now. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
Seattle's rainy season is here. Don't wait to replace your roof. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and get $500 off your roofing project. Our expert team creates a custom plan for your home, ensuring a smooth, worry-free installation even in the winter months. With material prices low and lead time short, now is the best time to act. Stop throwing money at costly repairs. Protect your home this winter with a new roof from your neighbors at 3Tree Roofing. Visit 3treeroofing.com today to secure your $500 discount. 3Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We'd all love to see Jorge Polanco back here in Seattle with the Mariners, but what if another player could be a perfect fit for Seattle? Adam Jude of the Seattle Times joined us earlier this hour and explained why, in his opinion, Brandon Donovan would be a great fit for Seattle.
I think he's an ideal fit, and I think the Mariners are going to be aggressive to try to land Brendan Donovan from St. Louis. In fact, I know the Mariners have already been aggressive. I will say that everything I've heard up until yesterday was that St. Louis is not ready to engage yet on Brendan Donovan. St. Louis just went through a major overhaul in their front office, a new president, new GM there. And so they're sort of being really methodical. They traded Sonny Gray to the Red Sox a couple weeks ago. And I think they're kind of going down their list of, all right, what's next? And we know that they've been looking at all the farm systems, doing sort of an audit of other teams' farm system and try to pick out guys that they really like. And I think the Mariners, as we know, have one of the best prospect systems in the game, and they can match or beat any offer.
Going to add on quickly here. We asked Adam what a trade for Donovan would look like.
Yeah, there's quite a few of it. Mariners, they're certainly top heavy with their prospects, and that's a good problem to have. They've had 8 of these prospects on all these top 100 lists, and it's more than anyone in baseball. So it's just a matter of, hey, are the Mariners making Colt Emerson untouchable? That's not a word that the Mariners throw around lightly, untouchable, because I think they would consider just about anybody outside of, Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez and really their pitchers in a lot of deals. But, Colt Emerson, they see as, their starting shortstop in the near future and a potential Corey Seager type impact bat. And I'd be stunned if they were willing to move Colt Emerson. I would be stunned as well if the two young pitchers, Kate Anderson, who they selected with the 3rd overall pick this year, and then Ryan Sloan, a guy that they're really enamored with as well. They drafted him out of high school a couple years ago. So those 3 for me, Sloan, Kate Anderson, and Colt Emerson, I would be stunned if the Mariners move those guys.
So Brandon Donovan, not technically available yet, but anticipated to be a potential trade piece that's moved. And for Adam Jude, he's an even better fit than Polanco if you do have to move in that direction. He gets more contact. He's 4 years younger. He strikes out less often. Bump, a listener question, why give up prospects when you can sign Polanco?
Why give them up? to get something better, something you believe is better. And that's the name of the game during the offseason, right? You want to make your team better. And if management feels like this is the move, then this is the move. I don't know much about the dude, man. The slash is all right. Yeah, it sounds like he makes more contact. Doesn't hit for as much power as Polanco hits for, but he is younger. So I can see the reasoning for doing it, just him on paper, not knowing the man himself. But I gotta trust the baseball nerds for this one.
I guess I'm always tempted by power. That sounds deep.
Yeah, it does.
Aren't we all?
It it just makes you feel good.
Historical accuracy. No, but I have loved the offense this year. I know that they still struck out, not nearly at the rate that they did in previous years, but it was great knowing that they had something they did better than almost anyone else in baseball, and that was hit home runs. It's hard to turn away from that. However, I remember a lot of the conversations that many listeners and people around baseball were having, certainly in the ALCS, but in the ALDS also, which is, man, the bottom of that lineup, right? And now Donovan, as Adam mentioned, could potentially be a leadoff, but we also talked about contact being really important to add for this offense.
Yeah, it's nice to enhance a part of your game that was seen as weak or less than. And it sounds like this is the move that would do that. What about your future, though? That's the tough part, is that, you're not going to keep all your young guys. We understand that. It's impossible to keep all of them, and it's impossible to hit on all of them. The ones you keep and maybe the ones that you send off are going to struggle a bit. But that's what you have to do to get a guy like Donovan. And it sounds like, what do you say, Cole, Emerson, and what was the third name he said? What was it? Anyway.
Oh, you mean if they roll with them? Williamson and Emerson at third.
No, the one untouchables. The young guys. It was Emerson, Cole Young, and someone else.
Kate Anderson,
thank you. It sounds like those guys would have to be on the table to make a move like this. And that's the scary part, because we've seen, we've heard, we've read, we've asked about these guys, and everyone seems excited about their future.
How do you balance wanting to build up those pieces and trying to compete now? That's a question that we asked Jerry Dipoto when he was on with us, and it's one I've been wondering about a lot for the Mariners. I don't want them to go pure youth movement at infield spots.
Scary.
You know what I mean? Just because it's we have these guys, and that is what a Mariners team in years past would do. I want them to have the talent that would be needed to win a World Series. They should be in World Series mode. However, that being said, you don't have the money that some of those other teams do, that the Phillies do, that certainly the Dodgers do, that the Yankees do. And you do have a great farm system. It's an interesting balancing act that I'm not sure how they manage this year.
Yeah, it's not like any other sport where I can go out and get me a 21-year-old to run the rock. He's going to touch it 300 times, and we're going to get 800 yards out of him. Chances are we're going to be good. With this, it's in baseball, it's so much more of a gamble. There's so much more data behind it. And you got to be patient with these moves, too, because you can make a move, and my man will come out looking hot, but in a month he'll be just fine and ready to go. That's why I respect these GMs or these presidents or whatnot when it comes to baseball, because there's so much behind it, and it takes so long for guys to reach their full potential.
Yeah.
And we've seen veterans look hot one year and the following season just fall off a cliff.
Last one I wanted to get to is not about Donovan, but about another move the Mariners are going to have to make, and that's adding a backup catcher. We asked Adam Jude about a possible reunion with Mitch Garver, and he said, look, the pitchers like Mitch Garver. He prepared well with them for them. He's well-liked in the clubhouse. Another texter said, absolute no on Garver. He was a, all caps, negative offensive player for 2 years in a row. Backup catcher, can't hit at T-Mobile at all, just no. If you are not paying him the contract that you, unfortunately, paid Mitch Garver a lot of money to bring Pop to your lineup, and he didn't. If you're paying him a lot less to be a backup catcher, I'm okay with that. I am. I have no issue with bringing back Garver at that cost.
Nah, not at that cost. No, because we know the Dumper's going to play 85% of those games.
Well, Anna, okay, so this is actually a great point Jordan Schusterman made on Baseball Barbiecast, but he was like, if you're worried about oh, well, if you lose Cal Raleigh and then you have to turn to Mitch Garver, if you lose Cal Raleigh, that's your problem. It was a great point by Jordan.
Yeah.
He's if you lose Cal Raleigh,
there's no one that can replace that.
He's there's no point in being well, if we didn't have Mitch Garver, your season's done. You've lost your best power.
Yeah.
You've lost your starting catcher. That's your problem.
You'd have to have like a Mighty Ducks kind of season.
And never say never. Coach Bombay, he went in there and yes, it was state mandated.
Yeah, it was. He got a DUI.
The most underrated part of the movie
for him.
is
People forget about that.
He was like a problematic lawyer who got a DUI.
Hated kids.
Was state mandated to coach a kid's team, and then was hitting on one of the kids' moms. He's kind of a dirtbag.
Hey.
But he got those kids.
You know what'll make you change your views on kids?
Kids.
A woman.
That too. Seahawks Draft Blog's Rob Staton joins us next.
Save the date, Wednesday, December 10th. Join the stations of Bonneville, Seattle, and Treehouse for the 37th year of Holiday Magic, helping provide holiday gifts and year-long support for the more than 6,000 youth and young adults in foster care statewide. Wednesday, December 10th. Over the 37 years of Holiday Magic, we've delivered 182,000 gifts across our state. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476 to learn more. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Cliff Averill here, giving a big shout out to the biggest and the best in the Northwest. That's right, I'm talking about Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Time and time again, they've been voted the best resort and best casino with the best chicken wings. There's nothing like being the very best, so come check out everything this place has to offer. Hey, when they say the biggest and the best, they mean it. Everything's on the table at Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Find out more at muckleshootcasino.com and please game responsibly.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service. 98 years providing logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. Visit suplinen.com.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, the new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/JOY.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Ulta Beauty's big holiday beauty sale is back with up to 50% off must-have gifts. Shop irresistible deals like the Shark Beauty Flex Style and Benefit Cosmetics travel-size mascaras. With new offers weekly, same-day pickup or delivery, and our trusted associates, we make holiday shopping effortless. Head into Ulta Beauty today. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Breaking news minutes ago from ESPN's Adam Schefter. The Colts are signing 44-year-old Phillip Rivers to their practice squad. News from MLB's winter meetings today. Per ESPN's Jeff Passan, Kyle Schwarber is back with the Phillies on a 5-year, $150 million deal. Still unsigned is infielder Jorge Polanco, though ESPN's Jesse Rogers reports that Polanco will make a decision this week.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Seahawks Draft Blogs, Rob Staton joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Get a chance to look back at the Falcons and look ahead to Week 15 against a different-looking Colts team here in Seattle. Rob, I'm going to start by looking back first to Atlanta. A slow first half, which was really the only bad news to come from this one before we look at what they did in the second half and what we loved coming from this one. What did you see offensively in that slow first half from Seattle?
Well, I must admit at half-time I was a little bit worried because that was the kind of offensive performance that makes you think that there could be a few issues there. The pass protection was really poor. Sam Darnold was playing at the kind of level that would be concerning for any quarterback this close to the playoffs. And the running game wasn't being leaned on. The play calling was unusually going away from that. I look at the interception as a case in point. That's a 3rd and 1, and you've got your quarterback on the move and thrown across his body instead of running the ball there. So everything was kind of worrying. And then just as maybe there was a few, fingernails being chewed at half time and a few furrowed brows that come out after half time and then do that and have that the perfect second half on every side of the ball. So I think by the end of the game, everything is all's well that ends well. But the first half was a little bit worrying, wasn't it?
Hey, was there anything specific you saw Atlanta doing that you felt kind of messed up the game plan offensively for the Seahawks?
It just looked a little bit like it was similar to last week when the Vikings were putting a lot of pressure, a lot of bodies into the backfield. The pass protection wasn't very good. You know, Charles Cross gave up a sack very early in the game, and it just felt as if there was just not quite the time there, and also that Sam Darnold looked a little bit jittery. There were a couple of times where you're thinking there's an open throw there, and he sort of turns that down and holds onto the ball. That was especially the case with Ken Walker being open on that interception. There was a couple of other times when you thought maybe you could set off and run here rather than just sort of sitting in the pocket. But I think you have to give them a lot of credit to come back after a difficult first half. They kept it to 6-6 at half time, and it could easily have been like 10-3, 13-3 to the Falcons, and you're having to sort of come from behind there. To keep it at 6-6 and then to just sort of do that, just to blow them away in the second half. I'm currently in the Caribbean, and I bumped into like 3 Seahawks fans later that evening, and all they were talking about is how this was a comfortable win. And everybody had just totally forgotten about what happened in the first half. And it's to the Seahawks' credit, because that could have been a very difficult second half. We've seen trap games for other teams, and other teams have fallen to teams that they should not lose to. The Seahawks have avoided that. They ended up blowing out the Falcons. They did what they had to do. And that was all down to a brilliant second-half performance.
A pretty good day overall for the defense. A quiet first half because both defenses were kind of keeping the offenses in check. Nicky Manwari in particular had a spectacular day. I can't remember a line like this. Actually, I think I saw a stat that it did happen one time before with the Seahawks last year. But a sack, an interception, a blocked field goal, it never happened. Bump tells me it never happened, which is insane. Bump and I yesterday were talking about just some of the gambles that Seattle's made really paying off. And I know that taking Imanwari in the second, trading up is like a gamble, maybe not the single biggest one they made in the offseason. But is there something to be said for the draft hits that they've had of late, for the decisions that they've made with Mike McDonald at the helm defensively, just really honing this group in?
Well, it looks as if they've wanted this kind of a player for a while. Right. I suspect that's why they traded for Jamal Adams. Is that they kind of wanted somebody who could be a chess piece, that they could move around, that they could have blitzing a lot, they could create pressure, could cover, could make plays, could be an impact player on the second level. And obviously that did not work out with Jamal Adams. And you've got a coach in Mike McDonald who's taken Kyle Hamilton and turned him into the player that he really should have been. You know, Kyle Hamilton was arguably the best player in his draft class. And the only reason that he didn't go a bit earlier and last to the Ravens was because he didn't run a particularly good 40. But everything about his field awareness, his read and react, his tackling, you know, just there's so many good aspects to Kyle Hamilton's play. And Mike McDonald took that ball of clay and turned it into one of the better defenders in the NFL. And he's looked at Nick Emanwari, and the amazing thing about Emanwari is he could be better than Kyle Hamilton. He could be better than Derwin James, who people will have seen playing the Eagles last night. He's got all of the physical potential to redefine this position, frankly. Like, he is just, we have not seen somebody with his skill set and his impact ability before in the NFL at this position. And that performance on Sunday against the Falcons was just like a big statement. Like, he's got to be in the running now for Defensive Rookie of the Year when he's playing as well as that. And the impact plays, yes, you know, we're all going to focus on that amazing blocked kick. I mean, how he extended his arm to get a block on that was unbelievable. The interception was maybe a little bit fortuitous, but, you know, we'll take it as a first interception in his career. But he was just all around the field. It's amazing, really, that I had a look on PFF yesterday, and he only got a 53.2 grade. It makes you wonder what else you have to actually do to get even a decent grade on PFF when that performance on Sunday was only a 53.2. But, yeah, he's an unbelievable player. It's a great move for them to sort of trade up and go and get him. They've managed him very, very well, and he's got an exciting future in the NFL.
Saw the Eagles lose last night. The Packers beat the Bears. Obviously, the Seahawks won, and the Rams beat the Arizona Cardinals. It changes week by week for me when I try to evaluate the NFC and who's what and who's the best or whatnot. How do you sort things out after that week?
Yeah, it's really hard to, because it's, in a way, this is kind of what you want the NFL to be. You don't want the NFL just to be all about, okay, you've got these 5 or 6 quarterbacks, and they're definitely going to be the contenders, and everybody else can make up the numbers. And hey, you know, which of the great quarterbacks has got a running game that can support him, or a decent enough defense to go all the way? You don't want it to be just repetitive every single year. And we're looking at a playoff situation now where we might not have Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. We might not have Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. We're not going to have Joe Burrow in the playoffs. That opens up everything on the AFC side. And then you look at the NFC, and it just feels the same. Like, the Detroit Lions, any given week, could blow a team away and look amazing and look like the best team in the NFC. And the following week, they can look pretty average, and their defense isn't very good. And they've had so many injuries, and they've got offensive linemen talking about retirement this week. So they've got all of their issues. You've got the Green Bay Packers, who, again, can look amazing one week and pretty average the next. You've got all of the NFC East is just it's a weird mess. Like, the Cowboys flirted with being really good for a moment, and then they've sort of gone back to how we expected them to be a few weeks ago. Eagles look like a disaster zone, and the media's going to be all on their quarterback for the rest of this week. And it just sort of looks like the Rams and the Seahawks are best placed to make a run here. And it could well be down to those two teams. I hope it is going to be down to those two teams. We've got this meeting coming up between the two in a couple of weeks. I hope the Seahawks can get a win there and get that sort of statement win that they're currently lacking at the moment, a signature win. But it could be that they play each other for a third time. That may well be the NFC Championship game, or it could be the divisional round game, which determines which team is ultimately going to go on to get to the Super Bowl. They look like the most balanced. They look like the best teams at the moment, but as you quite rightly say, Bump, you know, next week you could have a completely different opinion based on what we see. If the Seahawks lose to the Colts, which is that kind of season, we'll be having a very different conversation. So as long as both teams hold their serve this week, that Seahawks-Rams game is going to be the game of the season in the NFC so far.
I know that we're going to have more of these conversations leading up to that game and especially after, but if we could just kind of tap into it right now, a week ahead, most of what I see ranking the NFC has exactly what we just talked about, where the Rams are ahead of the Seahawks. And while the Seahawks are the second most bet team to win a Super Bowl, and that's great, the Rams are ahead of them. If there is an advantage that you think the Seahawks do have over the Rams, what is it, and what's still keeping that distance with LA ahead?
I think the Seahawks have a better roster. I think man for man, you sort of compare the two rosters. Seattle's is deeper, it is stronger. I think they have more impact players at more positions. The difference between these two teams is simply that experience level. You know, you've got a head coach who's been in the league for a long time now, and Sean McVay, and has won a Super Bowl. You have a quarterback who has also been there and won a Super Bowl, and he's got support from the likes of Devontae Adams as well to help steer through that. That's the only difference. The Seahawks, a lot of these Seahawks players have not won a playoff game before, or they've had sort of fleeting experiences. And it's good that Ernest Jones is there and now Cooper Kupp, because they need that little bit of Super Bowl experience to be able to lean on when it gets to the big games. But that, for me, is just sort of the big difference between the two. It's that extra level of experience. Maybe you could trust Matt Stafford a little bit more because of what he's been through in his career and the great career that he's had in a playoff game. But Seattle's roster is better. The defense is better. It's just whether they can bring all of those parts together and play complete football in these big moments, in these big games, because as we've talked about a lot this year, the Seahawks have got the job done in every single week, apart from the weeks when we've gone, this is a huge NFC game. The Niners in week 1, losing to Tampa Bay in Seattle, losing to the Rams in LA. That's going to be the difference. They've got to prove that they can win those games. The Rams have done that. The Rams have shown they can win the big games, and there's players on that roster and that coaching staff who've won a title. Seattle's got to prove that they can do it now as well.
Hey, going back to the first and second half of Atlanta, what did you see change in the offense? And I asked you about the defense and what Atlanta did to kind of affect the offense. What adjustments did you see in the second half?
I think you're just going to give all the credit to Sam Darnold. He just looked, I say, concerningly jittery in that first half. And then in the second half, he just seemed like a picture of composure. It was like the Sam Darnold we have seen when he's been at his best earlier in the season. You think back to that first half against the Washington Commanders when he was pretty much flawless. Like 1 incompletion or 0 incompletions in the entire half and was throwing touchdowns all over the field. It kind of went back to that. All of a sudden, every time he was dropping back, instead of like watching it through your fingers and wondering, is he going to get sacked? Is he going to get hit? The ball was out on time. He was making the right reads. He was making the right decisions. He wasn't risking anything. There were no sort of throws where you're kind of thinking, oh, don't do that. And then they've kind of dropped an interception, or in the case of the first half, got the interception. He just seemed like he was back on track. And when the quarterback is calm, when the quarterback's making the right decisions and he can move the football and he's finding his best player in Jackson Smith-Njigba, everything else will just work off that. And then the running game started to look a little brighter. The pass protection changed completely. And I have to imagine that's down to that calmness, that ability to take a breath at halftime from Sam Darnold and come back in the second half and play a lot better than he did in the first.
I wanted to look more specifically at the offensive line, which actually went a good chunk of the season, Rob, as you know, without getting too much criticism, and have still not allowed nearly as many sacks as we're used to seeing. I think it's obvious to a lot of people there's still a bit of a gap between pass pro and run blocking. First, do you see that as maybe a central issue to the run game woes? And secondly, is this line as a whole still good enough, in your opinion, to be perfectly fine, take this team to a Super Bowl?
I think the line is good enough, and I think because the pass pro has typically been better this season, I think as long as the quarterback is clean, you will have a chance to have a playoff run. And I do think it is good enough, and we've seen enough positivity from this offensive line that we don't need to throw the baby out with the bathwater this week and sort of say, well, look at this, and it's been a few weeks now and they've given up some sacks or anything like that. But there are some concerning things to it, that the run game has never quite got to that point where I keep referring back to the Chiefs game in pre-season. We've not had even one game where the running game has just felt unstoppable, even against the bad opponents. They've not been able to run like that against the Chiefs, against any of these teams. And then you sort of look at the pass pro a little bit. Look, Charles Cross is a decent player. I don't think he's quite as good as some people make out. Like there's almost this assumption that he needs to be paid like the highest contract amongst left tackles in the NFL. I don't think he's played well enough to warrant that kind of conversation right now. He's a decent player. You know, Abe Lucas is solid. He has not sort of a shutdown right tackle. He's not Lane Johnson or anything. So, you know, you're not talking about a flawless line here. The interior, you've got one rookie, you've got one player who gets a lot of criticism playing a right guard, and then we're going to have to wait and see who is ultimately the centre for the rest of the season. Now Jalen Sundell is coming back. So it's far from a flawless line, but I think collectively they've played together. They've mostly avoided injuries, which has meant that there's not been a load of chopping and changing like we've seen with the Chargers this year. I think that will give them a chance to go into the playoffs and feel like the line can be good enough if other aspects like the running game and the quarterback and the defense are playing at their very best.
And what do you make of the season Cooper Kupp is having?
I think he's doing what he needed to do. I don't think anybody really, if we're being honest, expected Cooper Kupp to have 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. You know, his role is about leadership, leading by example, being a consummate professional, sort of being somebody who all of the other players, not just in the receiver room, but everybody can look up to and go, this guy's a winner. If you want to be a winner, if you want to have the kind of success that he's had dragging himself from where he was at college to being a Super Bowl champion, one of the best receivers of his generation, you need to follow this guy's lead. And, you know, we can kind of we can look at the statistics and go, oh, well, make a determination as to whether that signing was worth it or not. I think forget the fact playing. Do the same with DeMarcus Lawrence, even though he's been lights out for a number of weeks now. The impact that those two players have had setting the culture is just, it's priceless. Frankly, they could have paid any amount to Lawrence and Cooper Kupp for that. Look at the Washington Commanders. The Commanders have tried to sign veteran players, experienced players, to help them set a culture, and it hasn't worked. And therefore, they're really struggling. And when the injuries have happened and adversities hit, they've fallen apart. Lawrence and Kupp, their impact on this roster and this young roster with not much experience, and you can combine like the Ernest Jones into that as well, and obviously Leonard Williams, their impact in setting this team up for success mentally with their attitude, not just with the talent and the physicality, I think has been so important for Seattle.
I'm going to stay for that for a minute because I'm glad you mentioned Lawrence. I feel like he gets overlooked quite a bit. I think Kupp was just, look, he came from a divisional rival, was born in Washington State, went to school here. Obviously, there was just a lot of talk about. But I've kept thinking throughout so many Cowboys games this year, like, man, they could really use DeMarcus Lawrence, who's just been fantastic as kind of a shockingly under the radar move for Seattle, considering he is a big name.
Yeah, I think the best thing for me was when he went to the podium after the game against the Minnesota Vikings, and he had his sort of mic drop moment. Obviously, I won't repeat what he said, but it to me that felt very Cam Chancellor. Like there's the look in his eye, you know, that kind of. He looks like an alpha. He stood there at the podium. To me, he strikes me as somebody who, when he speaks, everybody listens, and he won't sort of come out with a mouthful of words, and he's not going to bore all of his teammates to death. He probably says a few words that will resonate with his teammates, and that will just set the tone for everything in that locker room. And you need players like that. You know, the Seahawks, we can all talk about the young quality that they had in 2013 when they won the Super Bowl, but you also had some very experienced, grizzled veterans who knew what it was all about. You know, no one should ever forget the impact that someone like Red Bryant, for example, had in Seattle 12 years ago. Like that kind of player is just as important as your Nick Emenwaris or your Jackson Smith and Jigbas. You need those kind of core players on your roster. And this is why John Schneider should be Executive of the Year, because it's the ability to look beyond the injuries with DeMarcus Lawrence. You know, nobody on the internet, on X, was like saying, get me DeMarcus Lawrence in the offseason, not just in Seattle, but around the country. Nobody was sort of demanding their team go and sign DeMarcus Lawrence. He'd had some injuries and everything like that. And when the Seahawks signed him, people raised an eyebrow and thought, well, why are they bringing him in? He's an older player. He's had some injuries. Is he quite as good? He has been arguably, I'm struggling to think off the top of my head, who's a better free agent signing in the NFL this year than DeMarcus Lawrence for his impact on and off the field? Like, John Schneider should be Executive of the Year for a great draft, for signings like that, and Cooper Kupp as well. Just leaders who've been able to set the tone, get the culture that Mike McDonald wants, and set them up to be. They've already got a 10-win season, and there's 4 games left. Like, this could be a 13, 14-win season. The Seahawks have never had a 14-win season. If they win out, they're going to set a record there. If they get to 13 wins, well, when the Seahawks win 13 games, they tend to get to the Super Bowl. So fingers crossed that's going to repeat as well.
He is Seahawks Draft Blog's Rob Staton. Rob, always a pleasure. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Chargers snuck by the Eagles 22-19 in overtime on Monday Night Football. What's the real headline?
Is Jalen hurting Philadelphia? Bump, that's not so much my opinion as it is, I think, what people are really talking about with this headline. I'll throw this your way. Obviously, we know that Jalen had a career-high 5 turnovers in a game against the Chargers. The Eagles now have dropped their 3rd straight, this after losing to the Cowboys and Bears prior to losing to the Chargers. Hurts did take responsibility, telling reporters after the game, "It starts with me and how I play, but worth noting," and you've noted this before, the Eagles' offense hasn't been great this season, but Hurts only had 2 interceptions this season prior to that game.
Yeah, that was rough. He also had a possession where he had 2 turnovers in 1 possession. That is impressive at any level. Is he hurting them? I think he's been hurting them the last couple of weeks. But you look at this roster and you still see enough talent to be competitive. They're going to make the playoffs. I still think they win their division. But this was the concern. He did the one thing that he doesn't do. The one thing that keeps his team around and afloat is he doesn't turn the football over. Well, he just turned it over 5 times yesterday, so he has to fix that. And he's not, the rushing touchdowns aren't, what did he finish with, 15 last year? So he might be on pace for all 15. It's just that he has to be so responsible with the football because the margin of error is so thin with this team this year. Saquon Barkley's not having the year that he had. His defense isn't as good as they were last year. They're still going to make the playoffs, though. We'll see how he does when they get in.
Now, you looked at the remaining schedule and think they have an opportunity to even win out.
They should win 3 out of these next 4.
Yeah, they've got the Bills, the Commanders, Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders, yeah. Yep.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the Colts are signing 44-year-old quarterback Phillip Rivers to their practice squad. What's the real headline?
I'm sure Brock Huard has holiday plans, but I think the Colts could use him again, too. Why not? Run it back with a bunch of guys who can throw the ball in their 40s. I think you absolutely should. Backup Riley Leonard, who was projected to start against Seattle, sustained a knee injury Sunday, so he's day-to-day. TBD whether or not he does play. He's anticipating that he'll play. From Colts reporter Mike Chappell, he said, "We'll see if the Colts can get Phillip Rivers up to speed, like in football shape for Sunday against Seattle, but his guess is that it's the following week against San Francisco that we actually see Rivers."
How long have we been having 17-game seasons?
It's like 5 years, 4 or 5 years that.
So 21 was the first year, maybe?
I believe so, yeah.
I'm looking at Phillip Rivers. Since he became a starter in 2006, he's played in every single game. Every single game.
Him, Eli Manning, and I think Russell Wilson for a minute there had some records.
Pretty good.
That's ridiculous. The last time he played was in 2020 with the Colts. He had 24 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 68% completion percentage. Hey, look, he's going to play. You don't sign a 44-year-old just for him to sit on the sidelines. And he reset his Hall of Fame clock. There's a lot of stuff going on here. He will play. Sounds like next week, but we'll see you soon. It's probably not in Seattle.
Headline
rewrite.
I would too.
The Colts are always good for these weird one-off end-of-season moves.
Yeah.
Remember when they hired Jeff Saturday to finish off the season? Straight from ESPN?
Also, that was such a massive story at the time and now is like lost to your memories. Like I just thought, oh yeah. And it's like, we talked about that on air here because it was such a big deal.
It's Curly Ursay Gordon. She had to sign off on this.
Yeah.
She signs off on everything.
Yeah.
She's in the ear of everyone.
She run that.
Headline number 3 from the winter meetings. The biggest moves today, the Phillies re-signing Kyle Schwarber to a 5-year deal, and the Dodgers adding Edwin Diaz to their bullpen. What's the real headline?
So from the winter meetings, nothing shocking. That's the real headline. From the winter meetings, everything is planned. Kyle Schwarber back with the Phillies.
Dodgers.
The Dodgers continuing to just get bloated with that roster. Bump, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Business as usual. This is just what the Dodgers do.
Audacity.
Not surprised.
Earlier you said, God, I never felt like I had anything in common with Patriots fans, but now I feel like I have to defend myself here. And I said, to your defense, I think that Patriots fans are much more hated than our Dodgers fans. Then I had people texting in ranking sports fan bases that are like the absolute worst to the best. I think everyone had New York or Boston at 1 and 2.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, we had your back.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, you're Seattle.
Yeah.
But obviously from LA, so I don't think anyone. Some people had Blue Jays, not Toronto, just Blue Jays. Just the Blue Jays specifically. Brady, is there one we didn't mention that you'd have top the most annoying fan base to you?
terms of baseball or just overall?
Anything. Like a fan base where you're like, I hate these fans. I hate this fan base. This team's insufferable. I root for their failure.
To Vegas Raiders.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Why now that they're in Vegas that you don't mind?
Because you just get everyone that goes to Vegas to get in there. You're not getting the good old Oakland faithful.
Bump, what about you?
A fan base that I hate?
Yeah. No Clippers hate from you?
I was going to say that.
Yeah?
Clipper fans. Because they think the Clippers are a real LA team. They're not. You know what they say? Oh, you came from Minnesota. So what? We were here first.
Taking a look around the NFL next.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
Nick Eamon-Wari is with us. Can you think back to a game where you had more production?
I think yesterday is probably like the most complete I've played.
This is long before you were born. This is actually when I was playing. 1991, the last time somebody had 2 tackles for loss, a sack, an interception, and a field goal block.
They had told me that stat yesterday. I was pretty amazed by it. You know, it's been a long time, but I'm just grateful and blessed for it to be me.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Well, it's pretty hard to believe the holidays are here, and now is a great time for fitness gifts for your friends and family, or maybe even for yourself. Hey, Brock Ewart here, and from weight sets and accessories to the complete home gym, my friends at Top Fitness is the place to shop, and doing it right now. Top Fitness got certified pre-owned, pre-core commercial treadmills that are the same models used in hotels and clubs that typically sell for over $13,000 and available for you. You ready for this? For $3,300. They look like new and they come with a full warranty. So don't settle for that lightweight, cheaper treadmill when you can get a deal this good. As always, you get free delivery and assembly on those Precor treadmills, ellipticals, and exercise bikes. It's no secret why everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love Top Fitness. You can visit them in Tukwila, Linwood, or Bellevue, or go to topfitness.com for all the fitness enthusiasts on your holiday lists. Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
At Washington Energy Services, we take the time to get to know you and your home. We have the passion and commitment to see each project through and to treat our work as more than just a job. For over 65 years, we've offered award-winning home services, from heating and cooling, plumbing and electrical, to windows and doors. Complete home improvement handled from start to comfort. For peace of mind when you need it most, count on Washington Energy Services, bringing good energy to your home.
The Puyallup Tribe of Indians and Salish Cancer Center are excited to announce the 3rd annual Giving Hope Gala. You can help support the Giving Hope Gala December 13th at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center and raise money for the Patient Financial Assistance Fund. The Salish Cancer Center helps anyone battling cancer, and attending this incredible event supports that cause. For tickets, sponsorship, and additional information on the Giving Hope Gala, visit puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III!
Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign. And so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The Eagles have now lost 3 in a row. They still have a chance to win out for the remainder of the season, or at least take 3 of 4, as Bump noted, with 3 games against the Commanders and Raiders combined. However, how does head coach Nick Sirianni think this team can snap out of a losing streak?
The people that we have, in there, won a lot of football games right now. We've lost 3 in a row. So, again, I saw a great week of preparation. And I'm confident in the coaches that we have, the players that we have, the owner that we have, the front office that we have.
I didn't want to listen to the rest of the buzzing. It sounds like coach speak. He's confident in who they have. Are you confident in who they have?
Kind of. I mean, they've done it before. The main pieces, or a lot of the main pieces, are still there from last year. It is hard to run things back. But they've been in this position before where they lost a few games that they felt like they weren't supposed to lose and kind of bounced back. But, they're not out until they're out. They're one of the teams, if you get into the playoffs and they get you to play their game, they could make a run at this.
Is there a team that you'd be nervous about facing right now?
Nobody. The Rams. Just the Rams.
Sure. Okay. Is there a team that you think, they're liable to go off? No matter what you've seen from them lately, no matter what they've looked like in the season, a team in the NFL where you're like it could be like a Phillies, or it could be like, that's a good answer. That's a Family Feud. That's a good answer. Because it's a team that hasn't been as consistent as they'd like, but then you think about it and you're like, man.
They still got Jared Goff, who's playing some good football.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
They still got Gibbs over there. They still got Amon-Ra, who has 976.
Yeah.
They're still a good football team. Just not as explosive as last year.
Jalen Hurts made some dubious NFL history last night. He became the first player ever charged with 2 turnovers on the very same play. Those were 2 of a total of 5 turnovers. Yeah, well, it was the first since 1970 something, like in the modern area.
Still, that's impressive.
Since they started tracking the stats. So
that's impressive. Maybe
there was a player in 1964 who did it, and that Hurts wasn't really the first, but it also was, I think, -4 fantasy points on the same play, which is great. Great news. Anyone playing Jalen Hurts opposite them in fantasy football last night, me included, Brady, was that you as well? It was a great day for us.
As my quarterback.
I'm so sorry for you. It was a great day for me.
I still managed to win.
Yeah. Tough stuff for you guys. Jalen lost some people some really close games, including the Eagles. Quite literally a real game.
You just can't turn the ball over.
No.
They got to play their boring brand of football. Make sure AJ gets at least 7 targets or he's tripping and play good defense.
You know what's a bummer about Jalen Hurts? He's not a bad quarterback, but because his team has won a Super Bowl, he's been to 2, he naturally gets thrown into the conversation of, are you a top 5 quarterback? And it's like, Jalen? It's okay if he's not.
No,
yeah.
I don't think he is. He's a Super Bowl winning MVP quarterback.
Yeah, and it's like, I think it's fine. I don't know. I feel like there's maybe I'm contributing to it, but I feel like there's some Jalen Hurts discourse. The Philly discourse is interesting to me. I find it interesting that there could be so many reports of discord in a locker room, and yet still a team is so talented and successful. I think that's interesting. And you're looking at a volcano shaking, and is it going to erupt?
Right.
However, I think Jalen gets a lot of hate for just not being the most talented player on a very talented team.
Yeah, that's when quarterbacks do get the most hate, is when they're not the reason.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're only doing that because you got this, and that. It's like, yeah, it's a team sport, the ultimate team sport. But yeah, if quarterbacks aren't the guy, they get hate.
But no one's looking at maybe like a backup left tackle going, you're not even the reason.
Right.
You're lucky. These guys are carrying you. Sticking with last night's game, but looking at the other side, sideline reporter Laura Rutledge had a hard time chasing down Justin Herbert last night in an interaction that ended up going viral after the game.
Yeah, I'm trying to celebrate with my team.
No, I know, but can we just talk to you really fast? What was it like to watch the interception there that sealed this game for you guys to get this win?
Yeah, the defense played incredible. You know, they came up with so many big stops today, so proud to be able to play for those guys.
He went on to answer 3 more questions, but the beginning of that is the moment a lot of people are looking at, where she's chasing him down. Hey, I need to interview you. I'm with ESPN. This is how it works for Monday Night Football. And he says, I'm trying to find my teammates to celebrate with them. And I think, Bump, what it became was a conversation online about whether or not Justin Herbert was in the wrong or Laura was in the wrong. And the answer is no one.
I don't think anyone was.
No one's in the wrong.
They just won a big game. They improved to 8 wins or 9 wins?
9.
Good for them. You took down the Eagles. And he wanted to celebrate with his team, and she wanted to do her job.
Exactly. The only line that's ever crossed is not crossed. That's dramatic, but my only issue, and obviously I'm coming from a reporter/media point of view, is the people that were like, Laura's being rude. And it's like, she's literally doing her job.
She's paid to do that.
She is paid to do it. She's being told to go out there. You have, for anyone that's dumb questions, you have about 30 seconds. 30 seconds to a minute.
There's a producer in her ear right now. Hey, we got eyes on Justin. He's on a 30-yard line, going to make her way over there. Yeah. Okay, we got the cameras following you. She's just following orders.
And Justin also knows that that's protocol and kind of standard, and
that's why he stopped me. First he was like, nah, and he was like, all right.
I know. Then he was like, oh, I got to do this. And also, it should be a PR person running around, at least helping to coordinate that a little bit.
Facts.
Whether that's an NFL PR person or their crew or a team PR person. I don't know how it works for primetime games. Is it still this, if it's a primetime game, is it still the Seahawks PR staff that grabs them?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's always the team PR people. I was wondering that. Matthew Stafford was a guest on Rich Eisen's show yesterday and was asked whether this year's Rams team reminds him of their 2021 Super Bowl team.
In some aspects, yeah. I mean, obviously we're playing good football. Our record speaks for itself. Yet to be seen how we finish this thing up. There's a lot of football to be played between now and whenever that game is. But, our offensive line is playing outstanding football. They deserve a ton of credit. I'm a firm believer in the fact that, hey, you want good quarterback play, you need 10 other guys around you to be playing well, and especially those 5 guys in front of me. And they are playing at an outstanding clip, communicating, playing tough and physical in the run game. We rushed for 250 yesterday too. So they're doing a great job in the run game and the pass game. A ton of credit for our success should go to those guys. Everybody gets enamored with, like you just said, watching Puka go up in one-hand one, or Devontae just dice somebody down low, or our backs break off a run. But all that has started, with the guys up front. They do a hell of a job for us.
Now, interestingly, this year's Rams are actually averaging more points per game than the 2021 team, and Matthew Stafford has thrown for fewer interceptions than that version of himself.
Yeah, it's every team's different. Even if you go back-to-back, or, you put a dynasty together like the Chiefs, right? You're going to have some main pieces that are the same. But there's so much movement going on. And then you look at just the way that Sean McVay has coached his team this year. He's doing different things in the pass game and in the run game. He's leaned more into the 13 personnel. It's always changing. But as long as you have foundational talent and you have good coaching, like McVay over there, you got a shot.
J.J. Watt learned the Phillip Rivers reunion with the Colts was in the making for a while. This is what he said. He said, fun fact, I learned it in production meetings. Phillip Rivers ran the same offense as the Colts for his son Gunner's high school team this season, which means that he and Shane Steichen spoke weekly about the offense, discussing plays and even film. So familiarity with the scheme should be no problem whatsoever. I think that not everyone knew that. That's interesting from JJ during production meetings, but I think the question about Phillip Rivers is one of physical capability of 44.
And how, what type of shape are you really in?
Right.
You're a coach in high school football too. And I used to coach high school football and still stay in pretty good shape, but not playing shape. But I'm also not a quarterback, so that's different.
Yeah. Do you think we'll see him Sunday?
I hope we do. And I want everyone to cheer for him because he's 44. It's amazing.
Last one here, just some playoff scenarios for this weekend. There are 3 teams that can clinch a playoff spot. 2 in the AFC, 1 in the NFC. You can guess where this goes. The Broncos can clinch with a win or a loss by Houston and Indy. The Rams have the same scenario. The Patriots have the same scenario. They can clinch with a win or a loss by the Texans and Colts, and the Rams can clinch a playoff spot with a win. They do not clinch the division with a win, just a playoff spot. Jerry Dipoto just spoke with MLB Network. We'll tell you what he said next.
The Mike McDonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
If I ask you a question about Nick Warrior, are you going to start talking about all the things that he didn't do well? Because I know how you are, but it's just...
Do I do that?
You do that a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, no, he had a tremendous game. There's some things to clean up. Warms your heart to watch it. It's just high-level effort, and he's so close, and so I was really happy that he made that play, changed the tide of the game.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, the new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro, offer ends 12/14. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
What's your holiday tradition?
It's G. Scott here. For me, it's gathering with loved ones around a meal that brings joy. For many families, that tradition feels out of reach. Next time you shop at Safeway, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors. Your gift provides groceries to families across Washington, giving them access to nutritious food and the dignity to shop like the rest of us and choose what's meaningful for their holiday table. Visit nourishingneighbors.com and donate at your Safeway checkout. That's nourishingneighbors.com.
It's here, the Light the World giving machines at the Alderwood and South Hill malls. With a swipe of your credit card, donate a chicken, school supplies, meals, and more. Go to givingmachinewa.org.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Jerry Dipoto joined the MLB Network set in Orlando at the winter meetings. Here is the latest. First, he talked about that Harry Ford trade for Ferrer.
Ferrer is a guy that we had identified going into this offseason. He was the #1 target for us in terms of bullpen. He is just 25 years old. He's played 2+ years as a major leaguer. He'll touch 100, sits around 97, 98. He's got crazy sink, keeps the ball in the yard, on the ground. There's a lot there to like. And he's with your club for the next 4 years or more. And that's an exciting element.
Brady Curtis, make a mental note that we need to start playing music underneath our guest responses to interviews. I think that's the move. I'm going to combine it with one more here. He talked about the decision to give up Ford.
Obviously tough to give up a prospect like Harry Ford. We love Harry, born in our system, came through our system, wonderful human being. And I think he's got the potential to be an everyday impact player, but it wasn't going to happen with us. You know, D-Rose catcher happens to play for the Mariners, and the runner-up in the MVP, I think just had the best year in the history of catchers. And you know, the opportunity to break in as a rookie and cut your teeth as a backup catcher, getting 20, 25 plate appearances a month is just really hard. And we thought that would be a complicated matter. And we thought this was the best way to cash in and create impact for the Mariners.
Bump, I understand the feeling that some Mariners fans might have about, oh, but you gave up Harry Ford. We thought that he was going to be so great. He's one of your top prospects, and you did it for a guy that some people maybe had never heard of, or maybe if they had heard of him, they thought, oh, you should have gotten more, even though his stuff is obviously great. But Harry was never going to play. Harry was not going to be your catcher this year. This is a trade that works out for him too, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does. It's almost like you had a device that you just weren't going to use. All right, I already got an iPad. I don't need another one.
Right, and then you're like, okay, well, do I want to give up this iPad for something that maybe isn't exactly the same in terms of value someone else would think? But it's like, you were never going to use that iPad.
Exactly.
It's just sitting there, losing value.
It makes complete sense. But I understand people who are like, what about the future? What if Harry, you know? Yeah, but that move made complete sense, and there's no room for him to grow. And I think that might be an underrated part when it comes to these trades sometimes, especially with these young dudes, is that as an organization, as a human being, you're like, we have to do what's best for him too.
Really
it's
good point.
not going to work out here. Don't forget the human aspect of this. Let's give him an opportunity to grow.
Really good point. Let's talk about what there is to add. He's looking at an infield bat.
You know, we're still engaged in the free agent market. I would venture to guess either via free agency or trade, we will add one more bat, hopefully within the next 7 days, because I am Jones.
There you go.
Would anything involve dealing from their pitching depth?
You know, a year ago, we came to this meeting, and we've got 5-man starting rotation that we were really confident in. Our superpower had been our ability to develop this group and keep them healthy. We came to the meetings last year open to the idea of moving one of those pitchers to fill one of our needs, which were real in the lineup. We didn't really have a second third of our lineup that was going to be postseason viable. And we did listen or talk to other clubs about our starting pitching. Ultimately, didn't feel like the value coming back was enough to make a move. And the result was we went into the season and we were banged up as anybody for the first 4 months. We needed every inning those guys could give us. And finally at the tail end, when we got healthy, heading into the postseason, and we had our 5 men healthy for the first time, it made you think, let's just keep these guys because they're pretty good.
Bump, I'm going to combine it with one more just to group all of these together. They hope to add an infield bat in the next week via trade or free agency, doesn't matter. But the next priority is an infield bat. We've all been talking about Jorge Polanco. Mentioned, hey, we did listen to offers for starting pitchers, but last year, especially as we got towards the end of the ALDS, ALCS, we realized, like, oh my God, so happy we have these guys. However, they don't want to rely solely on a youth movement, which is what he talks about here.
Both of them got their first taste of it last year. We'd like to continue to give them a taste, but we want to take some of the pressure off with, a veteran bat who's been through there. Could be a third baseman, could be a second baseman, or some combination of those positions who can kind of, we'll call it like a tri-tune that can roll with both players and take some of the pressure off their bat, keep us an elite offense.
So what I'm hearing is, like, we will make a move in the next week. This is a top priority for us. However, it's probably not going to be the biggest name in the world because we're comfortable leaning to kind of like not a full platoon, but some of our younger guys. And also, we're not dealing one of our starters.
You know what that sounds like? Every offseason. But you know what's different?
What?
They're actually really good this year.
That too.
So it's received a bit differently,
Yeah, now it's like, no problem, Jerry.
Yeah, and even his tone sounds different too. The previous years is like, all right, guys, this is what we're going to do. Now it's like, we good. We got our boys over here already. Might sprinkle in a little something here and there. But, we okay. Yeah, the tone is completely different this year, and it's being received differently, too.
Yeah, I think this leaves us just kind of where we were earlier in our conversation with Adam Jude. It's good to hear just more information from Jerry. I think what I took from this is feeling even more comfortable with that trade of Harry Ford and what they got with Ferrer. And also, I thought it was good to hear him once again restate, we do not want to trade starters.
Yeah.
We don't want to trade our starting pitching. Like, we're trying to become a World Series team. He didn't say that, but like, we're trying to become a World Series team. We're not going to deal from something. We're not going to do this moving the deck chairs on the Titanic situation again. What he did say was they dealt with injuries last year, and it was a reminder of how quickly that depth can leave. But back again to, okay, is it Jorge Polanco? Is it making a move for Donovan? Which Adam Jude, in joining us, thought would be a good fit. So I think we're looking at kind of the same stuff. We're wondering the same thing.
What if it happens exactly the way we've heard? That's always...
You mean like signing Polanco?
Signing Polanco or getting Donovan. It's the scenarios are out there, and we're getting them from reliable sources. So it feels like those have to be one of the two moves.
The only question I have, and Curtis, correct me if this is misguided, Jerry says, we hope to add an infield bat in the next week.
Yeah.
However, Adam, in joining us, said the Cardinals aren't really like foot on the gas with dealing Donovan yet. Like, this could be something that takes a while. Is it possible that a trade for Donovan doesn't line up, that the Mariners don't want to wait?
I think Donovan is your fallback plan if Polanco and maybe Ketel Marte don't happen. And it feels like Polanco's decision may come before any sort of move with Marte. And if wherever those two guys ends up may dictate and where or how much interest the Mariners have in Donovan. I don't think Donovan is who the Mariners would go after, even with Polanco and Marte still on the board.
But if they want pitching for Marte, let's say,
Sure.
he's already said we're not giving up. We're not dealing up Kirby. We're not dealing Gilbert.
Right. You do have some decent arms at the getting to the top of your minor league system. Ryan Sloan, Durangelo Sanger. I don't think you're dealing Kate Anderson, but if it takes a Sloan to get Ketel Marte here, I mean, maybe you have to listen to that offer because, I mean, Marte is a pretty big impact bat who I think, I mean, there were some question marks about, our sister station down in Phoenix was kind of trashing on Ketel Marte a couple times this season about his, lack of hustle and his commitment to the team and whatnot. But I don't know. I feel like a guy with that kind of talent in the right environment. And I mean, we didn't hear those things about him when the Diamondbacks were going to the World Series.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Bump, before we hit break here, remind us of your top 3 teams in the NFC. Or I should say /NFL. They were all NFC teams.
Mm-hmm.
Who were they?
Is this setting up the next segment? Oh, okay. I'm like, why should you ask me this? Rams, Packers, Seahawks.
Coming up next, we've identified the top contenders, but what are their biggest questions?
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
Nick Eamon is with us. Can you think back to a game where you had more production?
I think yesterday is probably like the most complete I've played.
This is long before you were born. This is actually when I was playing. 1991, the last time somebody had 2 tackles for loss, a sack, an interception, and a field goal block.
They had told me that stat yesterday. I was pretty amazed by it. It's been a long time, but I'm just grateful and blessed for it to be me.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
When you're at home and next to your windows, do you notice cold air or a draft when the wind blows? How about moisture or leaking during a rainstorm? Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years in our home, our window seals started breaking. A failed window can do major damage to your home, and the older the window, the more likely it is to fail. That's why right now is an excellent time to have Harley Exteriors come by for a no-charge consultation. That's exactly what I had done over the summer, and not only were they extremely knowledgeable about all things windows, I found them to be polite, professional, and respectful. In other words, people you want to do business with. Harley Exteriors has a special offer for Seattle sports fans. Buy 3 windows, get 1 free. No payments or interest until 2027. And take an additional $200 off your project. Call 833-HARLEY or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today. They'll give you an honest assessment and quote. Go to harleyexteriors.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Winter's here, Seattle. Is your roof ready? Get $500 off by scheduling your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com. Let us make your roofing project easy this winter. Our certified crews deliver worry-free installations backed by industry-leading warranties, even in the rainy season. 3Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Okay. Only 10 more presents to wrap. You're almost at the finish line. But first... There, the last one. Enjoy a Coca-Cola for a pause that refreshes.
Majority of the people that are coming to see us are within our community. These are people who are providing maybe services that we also use in our community. So the LJ way, to me, somebody can come into a retail setting and not feel like they got to have their guard up. And that's been a long-standing thing in the car business that, we've tried to shape.
Todd and Brett, they made it really easy. You either take care of the customer or I will. So that empowered you, so if something does come up, to do the right thing.
It wasn't just working for a store, right? I was working for a legacy. I can't tell you how many people have come in and said, I've bought 3 cars here. My family has bought 7 cars here. My father or my mother have bought cars here. That's kind of rare nowadays, to get that type of longevity. You have to be doing something right.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home.
thanks to the VA home loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education, and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
The Puyallup Tribe of Indians and Salish Cancer Center are excited to announce the 3rd annual Giving Hope Gala. You can help support the Giving Hope Gala December 13th at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center and raise money for the Patient Financial Assistance Fund. The Salish Cancer Center helps anyone battling cancer, and attending this incredible event supports that cause. For tickets, sponsorship, and additional information on the Giving Hope Gala, visit puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Phillip Rivers is back in the NFL at the age of 44. He signed with the Colts practice squad, a reunion the two sides entertained back in 2021. This time, though, it's because the Colts could be short 3 quarterbacks. Daniel Jones is done for the season. Anthony Richardson remains on IR, and backup Riley Leonard is day-to-day with a knee injury. No clue who starts Sunday against Seattle, though it'll certainly be Leonard if he can play.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Brady, are you going to text that girl back?
Oh, dang. Let's go.
What do you think I've been doing?
So Brady was producing, board hopping for G and Ursula yesterday. And
Not yesterday.
Yesterday, last week. And they started talking about dating apps and your dating life. And you mentioned that you were single, but ready to mingle. And then a bunch of moms texted in with information about their single daughters.
Pictures of them,
yeah,
all that good jazz.
But then one of them actually texted you.
Yeah, I mean, I took a shot in the dark, gave the G and Ursula show producer my number to send back to one of the moms that sent in a picture. I found her attractive. And I was like, shot in the dark, not expecting anything out of it. Like,
you shot your shot.
You're actually
Kobe.
You're gonna get a text from your mom that, hey, I got this guy that
this young man I was listening to on the radio.
He sounds chill.
He sounds chill.
So then she texted you.
She did. She texted me while I was working on Sunday, and I was kind of just shucks. I wasn't expecting to get anything out of that.
Oh, shucks.
Oh.
Yeah, we've been texting, and
Did you feel the love?
City boys
in the
are
air?
so
we
up
haven't
right now.
met yet, so like it
doesn't matter.
But it feels like you've known each
Invite me
other.
to the wedding.
Yeah, we can't wait. We're so excited. That's beautiful. When's the first date?
Hopefully next week.
Whoa! Oh wow! I was not expecting an answer.
You going to muggle shoot?
No, I'm not taking a girl to the casino.
Why not? You do
Where are
lots
you
of
going
things
to
at
take
a
her?
casino.
Casinos are great. There's
watch
buffets.
this.
Yeah.
and then you lose at the roulette wheel. But you know, it's all about the set.
But then
double down on this.
No, the point is then you act unbothered by how much money you lost,
Yeah.
and then she'll be impressed.
$5,000? That's nothing.
You start crying. No,
That's a
it's
good
fine.
night.
I was gonna say $100. We
Wait,
good.
are you really taking her to the casino?
No.
I just say that because that's the only time I've seen him in a while.
Where are you going to take her on the date?
It's undetermined, but we're figuring it out.
All right, well, if you guys have ideas for Brady.
Ideas for first dates. Don't go to the movies.
866-9793. Don't go to the movies. That's a horrible first date.
Getting support from 2 different stations on my dating
Well, and
life.
Brady,
This is great.
you live down south. You live near
Whereabouts?
Near the Emerald Queen.
Okay.
Fife area,
Yeah,
right?
Fife.
Five? Okay, so something around, is Tacoma fine?
Yeah.
That's
Puyallup?
I frequent Tacoma.
Tacoma's a
and
home
Puyallup.
game for Brady.
Okay,
That's a home game,
perfect.
so it's Puyallup.
Okay, so we're looking Tacoma, Puyallup, Fife area. If anyone lives around there,
I'll tell you right,
we
there's
have
nothing in Fife.
We have
The
2
poodle dog.
young people. What are you guys, 26, 27?
Want to give
27 going on 28.
Who want to give love a shot.
Yeah.
And they need a place for a first date. Brady, you watch the text line. Bump and I are going to talk NFL now. Bump, I asked you to identify your top contenders in the NFL. You said in order, the Rams, Packers, Seahawks. However, we know that there's so much parity this year that, according to Andrew Whitworth, and I think he's right on Rich Eisen, it's really about kind of who gets hot at the right time.
The parity of the year of this season is higher than ever, and it's really, truly to me, the hottest teams have a chance to go win a Super Bowl when we get to the end of this season, we get to the playoffs. Who can get hot at the right time and who's healthy? They got just as much a shot as anybody, because I think everybody has their warts, and everybody's kind of shown us that there's a pretty even playing field when everybody plays their best. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see the rest of this season unfold.
All right, let's talk about the contenders. We're going to focus mostly on these 3, but we'll expand it naturally as part of the conversation. We're just talking about who's in line to contend right now. Let's talk about if they get hot at the right time. What makes them hot? And then also, what are our questions? We'll start with the Rams, I guess?
Sure.
Okay.
They're
Go
hot.
in order.
I know they lost to the Panthers
So hot right
the
now.
game before, but their game against the Cardinals, man, they did their thing. The question I have for the Rams is their pass defense. They allow the 8th most completions in football. Guess who allows the 9th most? We do. But still, I can't ignore it.
But,
okay.
however,
they don't rally like us.
Yeah.
All right? And then the secondary just doesn't have like that star power. I know that one week I called out Kobe Turner and said, "You throw
You
at
can't
him,"
do that again.
and he had an interception.
You can't do
Maybe
that
even
again.
2. And it was a long day for your boy there. But they don't. They just don't have the secondary that some of the more elite teams have. So that's my question for the Rams.
Can I ask you about a critique I've heard before that I don't personally buy, but also I keep hearing it? One thing I keep hearing is, the Rams receiver room can be shallow. That it's basically like Puka, Devontae for red zone target touchdowns, and then that's it. And part of me is like, well, who cares?
And that's how
but-
most receiver rooms operate.
Right. You rarely are you going to see a receiver room where wide receiver 3 has 800 yards, and if he does, it's because wide receivers 1 and 2 either someone got hurt or they also have about the same. Is that a fair critique about, in any way, a lack of weapons?
No.
I don't think so either.
No.
And not only that, but like Colby Parkinson has looked really good for them.
Yeah. I'm not sure what Higbee has done this year, but he's proven to be solid at times. No, I think skill-wise, they're good, man. You got 2 number 1 receivers over there. You got a number 1 running back and a number 2, the best QB in the game right now. 2 solid tight ends. Yeah, they're good.
Okay, let's go to the Packers. What makes them hot, and then what's their big question?
What makes them hot is that they have top 3 defensive player in the game in Michael Parsons, and Jordan Love takes care of the football. He doesn't turn over very often. But my question is this receiver core really elite? Because, Christian Watson has been playing good football as of late. But it's just been so up and down the last couple of years when it comes to the Green Bay and this receiving core. You got Romeo Doubs, 45 receptions, 542, 5 touchdowns. Tucker's gone. Tucker Kraft, he's injured. He's not gone. He's injured.
He's still their second leading receiver, though.
Still. And you got Christian Watson, who's been playing good football as of late. He's got 452 and 5 touchdowns. And then you have Datavian Wicks, who has 307 and 2 touchdowns. There's just no one who really scares me. Watson scares me the most out of these guys. He's been playing good. But I guess when you have a quarterback who's accurate and who takes care of the football, you have a chance. But I look at that receiver core, and I don't think it pumps fear in anybody.
No, I mean, the good news about the pass game and about the offense, Jordan Love's the best quarterback on third down. There was a period of time, I mean, shortly after losing Tucker Kraft, it's obviously not a coincidence, where they were just not taking off. Their defense was keeping them in games. The offense couldn't really do much of anything. It's a good point. You're still seeing the lingering kind of like, they figured it out, and that Jordan Love looked great in their last outing. And the offense is scoring and looking good, but like they're still kind of making up for that loss. He still leads the team in receiving touchdowns. Is that the thing that might keep you from saying like they'll win a Super Bowl?
What keeps me from saying they'll win a Super Bowl is just how top heavy the NFC is. It's hard just to tell because they have the talent to win a Super Bowl, I think. You know, it all starts with the quarterback and then your talent on defense, and you got to get running back over there. The Packers resemble most of these, or not the Rams, but other NFC contenders, right? Solid quarterback, good run game, receivers who can get it done. Defense is good too. So, yeah. And like, who's the clip that we're just listening to? Who was that?
Andrew Whitworth.
Yeah.
Former Ram.
But he's right. Just got to get hot. You get hot at the right time, you never know.
Yeah, someone said we seem to worship the Rams. I don't agree, but I think it's important to talk about a team that's ahead of you in the standings and that you're going to be facing in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's in your division. I think it's really common that you end up looking at a team and go, they're in your way. What do they do?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the Seahawks, though. Same question.
All right, let me respond to somebody real
Yeah.
quick. Someone said, y'all tripping about Jordan Love protecting the football. That's 4 interceptions this year, and that's pretty good.
Wait, someone said that
Y'all
you were tripping about
on
that?
Jordan Love protecting the football.
Oh, like saying he's not?
Yeah. No, he's doing a good job this year protecting that rock. Yeah.
Okay, Seahawks.
Seahawks. We know what it is.
The defense
That
is hot.
No.
And the question is
The
Sam
question, it's Samuel. Samuel has to play good against the big dogs. Man, you got an opportunity coming up, on the 18th, on a Thursday night. That's your opportunity. Can you perform when the lights are bright and you have to make a play? Or are we going to see the snowball effect? Because that's what it felt like. That first interception with the Rams, I'm like, it happens, okay. That second one, I'm like, here we go.
Can I be a tiny bit of a devil's advocate argument maker here? I am still waiting for that from Sam Darnold as well. And of these 3 teams, when it comes to quarterback, my biggest question is Sam Darnold. And fair or not, that's just how it is. I completely understand the sentiment. I think the lights are bright moment would totally fit for Sam if he consistently struggled in the postseason, but he's made 1 postseason appearance. And it was bad. But I think we tend to conflate 2 games at the end of last season with 1 game against the Rams and then make that like, this is what it is about Sam.
All you have is what he's shown you.
Which is fair,
You
but
know,
I'm just saying
he's got 2 poor performances at the end of the season last year. You still couldn't beat the Rams this year through 4 interceptions. Had your worst game as a Seahawk this year.
Yeah.
During the Bucks, turnover when you had an opportunity to win the game. Yes, it hit off someone's helmet, but you had the ball in your hand. And then against the 49ers, you get a lineman pushed into you. That's the one that I'm really like, that really wasn't him. You get a lineman pushed into you. You don't see him. You go to throw the football, and you turn the football over. So, and then the wins, there are no really big wins. Now, you're big when it comes to numbers. 44 against the Saints, 38 against the Commanders, 44 against the Cardinals. Those are big wins as far as his play and the score, but I'm still waiting.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Brady, you have a lot of suggestions on the text line, by the
I've
way.
seen
Someone
so
said
many.
you should take her to a Kraken game and get her like behind the scenes and use your media credentials to look really cool.
Yeah, first off, I would then need to have media credentials.
Yeah, you credentialed,
Oh, you know somebody?
He can contact their
He can contact the PR department and
Like,
say,
hey,
that's not how that works.
I'm a medium level radio employee. And
You'll be credentialed.
Yeah,
she
your
won't
girl
be
will not be.
credentialed.
Yeah.
But you can wave at her from the press box.
Yeah, look
so
how
she
cool.
Get you
knows
cookies from
you're
media
I'm gonna go
dining.
get you.
Yeah, bring her food from
They're
media
gonna be
dining.
real warm and real good food from over here. I've gotten so many responses.
You had someone else. Wooden City is really cool. I've been there before. You had someone tell you to go there.
Got a lot of hockey game responses.
Someone told you to go to the aquarium. I will warn you, the aquarium, people don't know this, is $3,000. It's not really.
And it smells
but
funny.
It's sneaky expensive, and it smells funny, and you can't touch all the fish. You think you can touch
Who
the
wants
fish.
to touch? You want to touch the fish?
No, but I'm saying in my memory, the aquarium was like you go there and you touch everything, but you can only touch a couple things.
You can touch like the starfish.
Yeah, you can't touch the cool fish.
No riding dolphins or anything like that.
They don't have dolphins
Can't touch
there.
the eels.
Yeah, they have.
They'll zap you.
They have an octopus, which I couldn't see when I went. That's how I feel about the tiger at Woodland Park Zoo. I don't think you have
I've
one.
never seen that tiger.
I've never seen that tiger a day in my life. I don't think you have a tiger. And I think someone listening somewhere needs to get to the bottom of that Woodland Park.
My favorite response so far was Brady's dating is the most important topic on 710 this week.
Yes,
I
that's
need
true.
a headline rewrite by a district level swimmer on this.
Okay, first of all, I did swim at districts.
Did you?
Yeah, everyone does. It's your school district. You don't, and then you make it, and then you advance. But the initial swimming is done by all. So, anyways, let's see. Yeah, you've got a lot of. Someone told you to go to Panera.
Panera food is disgusting. Let's be honest.
Don't go to Panera.
It's hospital food.
How to stay single.
Respectfully, don't go to Panera. But you do have a lot of cool ones on here. I'm genuinely going to write some of these down and be like, maybe I'll go to these. Not on dates, just to go eat because they look like good food. But yeah, let's see. We did have one Seahawks.
If you make it to a third date, holla at your boy. I do better with the deeper
middle
dates.
stages.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So maybe you turn to the text line for kind of like did you choose a spot? Did someone give you a recommendation you like?
I mean, there's plenty. I mean, a lot of them were listed out in like Puyallup and Tacoma. I'm very familiar with. I've gone to plenty of them, like McMinimans. It's a great place. It can get very crowded depending on the day you go to.
Now, Brady, can I give you one piece of advice?
Oh, hit me.
Don't leave your Zen pack on the table. Just respectfully.
Nah, she gotta know.
No,
she gotta know who he is.
Based on the look of the control room, do not bring your goldfish. Do not bring your Monster Energy
would
drink.
I bring
and do not
goldfish
bring
to
your
a
Zen
date?
pack. I don't know,
Hey,
Brady. I've
goldfish
never
might
seen
be,
you without them, Brady.
Goldfish might work.
Do
Who
not
doesn't
take-
like goldfish?
Brady?
He's getting exposed now.
If I hear that you brought your Zen pack and that you leave it at any point on the table, I'm going to be so upset.
I'll tell you what I do already. I leave it in the car.
And then
You're
she
gonna
opens
offer-
your glove box and she's like, what's this?
You're going to say, do you
It's
want
not the
some?
worst thing you could find.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Moving
jeez.
on. Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Bump. What do you hope the Colts continue to do this weekend?
I hope they continue to be aggressive and play man defense. They play man 28% of the time. Out of all the opponents that the Seahawks have faced so far this year, this should be the most man coverage they've seen. But you also have to take into account that the quarterback situation. You don't know how aggressive this defense is going to be. Maybe they want to back up a bit and play soft coverage. But JSN has the second most receptions in the NFL when it comes to man defense. He knows how to set you up. He knows how to be volleying at the top of the route. He knows how to get open. So whenever I see JSN lined up and I feel that is man, I get excited. One of his touchdowns, his first touchdown last week against the Atlanta Falcons, he was in the Atlanta Falcons were in man, and he just tore him up. He's really good with his body language and influence in the defense. So the Colts, keep up the good work. I need you to play man defense, allow Jason to work, and also Cooper Kupp is good in man as well. Not as fast as he used to be, but he's still precise with his route running. Man us up.
Second down. Seahawks running backs had 2 drops last week, but why are you not concerned at all?
Yeah, in the moment, I was kind of scratching my head. I was trying to remember the last time I saw them just blatantly drop a football like that, and I couldn't remember. So I thought to myself, their catch percentage has to be pretty high, and that's exactly what it is. Ken Walker has 80% completion rate when thrown to him. Zach Charbonnet, 84%. And it's because the way they do it, they're usually leaking out into the flat. They're not really asking them to run too many routes, but last week we saw Zach Charbonnet run an angle route, went out to the right flat, then cut back towards the middle of the field. Sam Darnold hits him in the chest, and he just drops the football. That's just not common. That's not what they do. When it comes to the catching percentage or completion percentage with the running backs, this duo has the highest combined completion rate in the game right now at the running back spot. But yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I don't think even people even recognized it, because that's not what they do. All right, well, you're not paid to catch the football. Let's hand it off to you.
I remember it was a conversation a couple of years ago about, I forget how it started or who was even offensive coordinator when we were having this conversation, but I remember there being like, oh, it would be cool to see the running backs get incorporated into the pass game. I think there were just lots of talks about diversifying the offense and being more creative, and that was just kind of one of the conversations that came from it.
Yeah, because Kubiak coming over from the Saints had Kamara over there.
Yeah.
And, you know, when he's balling, he's one of the best at the game at the running back spot catching the ball.
Third down. What did all the Seahawks explosive runs have in common?
All right, so there weren't many of them, about 4 or 5 of them things, but I'm watching the film. I went back and wanted to see why were those runs successful, and they were all gap scheme runs. So gap scheme is when you're pulling a guard, a tackle, a center sometimes into a gap, and your running back has to follow you. And what I loved about that was there was a play that Anthony Bradford just messed up against Minnesota, and people were on his dome piece talking about him. There's a right guard. He pulls to the left, kind of gets confused. The guy he's supposed to block just moves out the way, and he whiffs. They were in that same play, and Anthony Bradford learned from his mistakes, fitted him up, boom, took him out the play. Love to see it. There's another play where you're pulling a guard, and you send a fullback with him as well. So the gap scheme, it takes away really the cutback, the running backs to be enticed to cut back because you have to follow your big. You got some lineman down blocking, you got another lineman pulling, you got a tight end getting up to the second level. It shows you exactly where to run the football, tells you where to run the football, so it gets them downhill a bit faster. And we all know that this offense was supposed to be outside zone, which it still is, outside zone and toss and inside zone and all that. But to see the gap scheme work and see these running backs have these explosive plays while using that gap scheme, I think was cool.
This is only very slightly related. I mostly just wanted to talk about run blocking, the offensive line, what have you. Now that we're entering into week 15 with a new coordinator, and a coordinator who does things much differently than Grubb, how obvious does it feel to you when you're watching film that this offensive line is better set up for success? Is there a difference that you see?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. One, they're not pass prone 50 times a game. You pass pro 50 times a game, you're going to lose a lot of battles just because of the numbers and the guys that you're going up against.
Yeah.
And two, the outside zone and zone works for these guys just because this is more of the quicker on their feet type of O-linemen. They're not these big, massive. I don't know that all linemen are massive, but you know those maulers. So yeah, definitely.
Fourth down. All right. Well, what's the worst thing about playing the Colts on Sunday?
The worst thing is that you don't know who your quarterback is going to be.
Truly, it could be me.
It could be Stacy. It could be Brady. Hey, Brady's friend, if you're listening, hey, he's got a cannon. Okay, he can throw the ball a mile. So watch you see
so
this guy.
Strong.
So
He's
strong
like
and athletic.
6'8".
Honestly, before the Colts brought back Phillip Rivers, they called Brady.
And Brady turned him down because he said, I got a date next week.
Yep.
So
he did that for you.
There's that.
Brady is actually really tall.
He is tall, and he did use his arm for sports, but you were a pitcher.
Yes, I was a pitcher, and I threw it hard. I mean,
I think
people
he's
roast me
older.
for talking about my baseball life, but
I like sports.
The best Brady impression you've ever done.
What am I talking about? Fourth down.
The worst thing about playing the Colts is
Okay,
that,
yeah. Because you don't know who the quarterback is going to be. I know the Hawks defense is at a point where it's just about them, though. Like, it really doesn't matter who they play. They're going to scheme it up and find a way to get it done. But, like, personally, there's a mobile quarterback. There are statue quarterbacks. There are quarterbacks who like to roll out and throw the football. There are quarterbacks who will launch it down the field. There are quarterbacks who take checkdowns. Like, you don't know the profile and personality of the quarterback that you're going to play.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the hardest part.
I saw someone text in that it's a lose-lose for the Seahawks defense, and I actually really disagree. I think that that's the case for I don't know, if you already had questions about someone and they can't prove it, no matter what they do. That's a lose-lose. There are no questions about the Seahawks defense. I don't know a single person criticizing the Seahawks defense. If the Seahawks defense goes out and Phillip Rivers ends up in the game and they stop the Colts from getting into the end zone at all and get like 5 interceptions, I think people are just still talking about how good the Seahawks defense is. I don't think they're like taking away from it going, okay, well, but you didn't prove it against a good quarterback. I do think that would be the case if like Sam Darnold was facing a defense full of backups. Then he's in a lose-lose because people are waiting to see very specifically Sam Darnold prove it against a very good unit when the lights are bright.
Yep.
There are no questions about the Seahawks defense. No one's waiting to see anything. They're good.
They got it all.
They got it all. Let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
We've got an NBA doubleheader on Amazon Prime. The Heat take on the Magic at 3 p.m., followed by the Knicks and Raptors at 5:30 p.m. Get your questions in for what I need to know. No more suggestions for Brady States, okay? Brady, you have enough suggestions. He's got a lot. He's fine.
I have not seen the text line this active in a while.
It's crazy. It is a fun conversation I love. Unfortunately, it's my turn. I need questions. Get those sent in. Any question you have, sports, non-sports, it doesn't matter. Just something top of mind, something you need to know. Maybe you need help with something. 866-979-3776. That is coming up in about 20 minutes. Coming up next, it's Hype Train.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
Nick Eamon-Warrior is with us. Can you think back to a game where you had more production?
I think yesterday is probably like the most complete I've played.
This is long before you were born. This is actually when I was playing. 1991, the last time somebody had 2 tackles for loss, a sack, an interception, and a field goal block.
They had told me that stat yesterday. I was pretty amazed by it. You know, it's been a long time, but I'm just grateful and blessed for it to be me.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Calling all Seahawks fans, this is Cliff Averill. I'm here to announce Away Game Rumble at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, sponsored by Corona and Modelo. Take football Sundays to the next level with a free viewing party at Galaxy for every away game. Count on giveaways, specials, big screens, big action, and so much more. Full details at muckleshootcasino.com/rumble. Don't miss Away Game Rumble, only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Good Dog Auto Glass.
When your windshield breaks, the national brands say their fix is safe, but the quality is light. Instead, trust Good Dog Auto Glass for the best in quality auto glass.
Don't let the insurance company bully you. When you call, we answer the phone. Visit us online and get more bang for your buck.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic, and it's time to make the final push to the end of the year. Do you want to lose weight, improve your health, and have more energy? We have a proven system and a team of health coaches that have helped over 4,000 people in Washington lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks without expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. No gimmicks, no tricks, no drugs, just teaching you how to become a fat-burning machine and keep it off long term. Visit eastsideweightlossclinic.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Yeah, don't wait until the new year to start. Make a big change in your life now and take advantage of their biggest sale of the year, $300 off. I used Eastside Weight Loss Clinic, and I lost 35 pounds in just 8 weeks. This is a plan you can definitely do around the holidays and still enjoy those delicious meals.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, and you can do our program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know coming up at 45 after 866-979-3776. Right now, let's head to the station for Hype Train. Philip Rivers is back in the NFL at 44 years old. Happy belated birthday. He just turned 44. He's also just the second grandfather to be in the NFL. This is your Hype Train. He will start against the Seahawks on Sunday. As a reminder, Riley Leonard, who went in for Daniel Jones last week, is day-to-day with a knee injury.
I'll be 40 on Saturday. I must support my co-40-somethings. All right, he's going to go out there. He's going to play a heck of a game. It's not going to be close, but he's going to play a heck of a game. And he's going to boot out the pocket one time, and he's going to show that he's 40. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
But you know what? He'll be out there getting that check.
And that's your first Sunday of your 40s.
It's first Sunday of my 40s.
And so I love that you're using it to support
exactly
another. I get it.
So I will support him.
That's beautiful.
He will be out there.
Okay, Bump is boarding. The Hype Train is that Philip Rivers, now with the Colts, will start against the Seahawks on Sunday. Bump is boarding to support his fellow 40-somethings. Curtis, are you boarding?
I'm boarding as well. I think, why would you bring him back just to have him on your bench? I think this is the Colts' sort of last-ditch effort to save their season because I believe after the Seahawks play them, it gets even worse for the Colts in terms of...
yeah, their schedule's tough.
Yeah, they finish off the year. Seahawks, Niners, Jags, Texans, all 4 of those teams very much still in the playoff hunt. So, yeah, I think Philip Rivers, we see him out there on Sunday, going to be wild.
No. Just 2 aboard this one. I think it's going to be Riley Leonard, but the whole point was that, like, we don't know for sure. The worst case scenario is that we lose Riley, and then we're like, what do we do? I think that Philip is going to be there supporting Riley back up on the sideline. Go in if he gets hurt, but I think Riley's starting. Next up. ESPN's Jesse Rogers reporting that Jorge Polanco should make a decision on free agency by the end of the week. And Adam Jude joined us from the winter meeting saying, like, yeah, they're still eyeing Jorge Polanco. We heard Jerry Dipoto from the winter meeting saying, we want to add an infielder this week. Jorge Polanco is a Mariner by the end of the week.
Jorge Polanco.
That's Spanish for Jorge Polanco.
Un marinar. At the end of the week. Yeah, I'm on that, man.
Bump is boarding.
I'm on that. I see all the scenarios. I hear them, but I think the easiest one, you know what you're gonna get. Hopefully, you know what you're gonna get out of Polanco. He's familiar. He's comfortable here. Yeah, Polanco.
Curtis, Jorge Polanco is a Mariner by the end of the week. That's your hype train, and Bump is boarding. Are you?
I think it happens.
Well, you
We're
guys
boarding
are
that train.
Yeah. Have so much fun together. Fine.
By the way, Stacy, did you notice that Bump and I are matching?
I notice every time. You guys
Black
always
on black,
do
Seattle
stuff without
Cap.
me.
That's right. Yeah, Jorge Polanco's a Mariner by the end of the week, and he's going to match with Bump and I, too.
I'm boarding too. I'm boarding too, Brady.
Wow.
Thank you.
Who said we were letting you on?
You just kicked me off.
Shut the door.
Seat's
It's a
taken.
Sparta moment.
Yeah.
Can't see here.
No. Next up, I just want to get some more here.
We'll put our bags on the seat, so you have to stand.
You guys would do that, and it's so rude. We will see at least one lower seed advance in the first round of the college football playoff. I have the schedule up to remind
I know
us.
who's not advancing. The teams that shouldn't be in that thing.
Okay, but at least one lower seed, and that could include Bama over Oklahoma. So lower seeds in the first round: Bama, Miami.
Who are they playing?
Oklahoma. Bama, Oklahoma. So I'll tell you. Miami would be the lower seed to Texas A&M, Tulane to Ole Miss, or James Madison to Oregon.
Bama, Oklahoma is the only one that could possibly go down.
But do you think it'll?
Do I have to pick one?
Yeah,
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
You don't have to at all.
None
Just
of the
at
lower,
least
none
one.
of the lower seeds.
Okay.
No.
Bump is not boarding. Me too. I'm staying with Bump. We will see at least one lower seed in the first round of the college football playoff advance. Curtis, are you going James Madison?
Heck no. No way.
No? Wow, you don't believe in the fighting
No.
James Madison?
I think they're the Patriots or something. I don't know. Sure, I'll board this train.
For Bama?
I'm boarding from Miami. I think
That's
Texas
bold.
A&M has a history of choking in these big spots. So I'll give it to the Canes on December 20th. We're still a week away from the first round. So yeah, I think Miami gets the victory over Texas A&M. That's the only one I see happening. I think Tulane is going to get blown out by Ole Miss. James Madison, thanks for playing, but Oregon's going to roll. And Alabama, I mean, they just kind of snuck in the back door.
I know Alabama just got demolished in the SEC championship, and I understand that they are not the Bama people are used to seeing. We're positive there's no way Bama has a chance against Oklahoma.
John Mateer.
Oh, that's right.
Cougs.
Ben Arbuckle. Yeah, a couple of Cougs there.
There's a chance.
I'm going to go Bama.
We'll see it happening.
I am boarding this train.
You think John Mateer still remembers being on the bench for the the 23
never
Apple
forgotten
Cup? Yeah. It's like sees Kalen DeBoer, sees Ryan Grubb on the other sideline.
Next
Not
up.
forgetting this.
Jalen Hurts under fire today for obvious reasons. The Eagles are always in the spotlight. He just had 5 turnovers, a career high. Lots of debate today on sports stations across the country about whether or not he is elite. Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback.
Woo! Here are the top 10 quarterbacks when it comes to yards. You got Prescott, May, Mahomes, Stafford, Goff, Darnold, Daniel Jones, Allen, Love, and Herbert. Outside the 10, you got Nix, Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, and then Jalen Hurts. Would I take any of those guys over, or Jalen over any of those guys? Caleb Williams and Bo Nix right now I'd probably take.
So, let's pretend
I'm thinking of the future.
Let's pretend it's for 2026. So for 2026, you're starting your season. Are there 10 quarterbacks that you would have on your roster over Jalen Hurts?
I would take Love, Allen, no Danny Dimes, Darnold, Jared Goff, Stafford. Yeah, there's 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not boarding.
No, not boarding.
Curtis, Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback, and that's the way that I would want someone to think about this, that if there are 10 quarterbacks that to begin your season in 2026 you would take over Jalen Hurts, then he's not a top 10 quarterback. Are you boarding? Bump isn't. You had to think about it, but...
I'm not boarding. I don't think so. Yeah, he's had a brutal season, and last night was the capper on that. Yeah, I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback right now.
I don't think
I'd take Sam Darnold over Jalen Hurts right now for sure.
You know what's weird about Jalen Hurts? You mentioned those 15 touchdowns, which were tied for Josh Allen with first. If this was last year going into this year, I'd be like, well, he's so dynamic. You have to think about the mobility that he brings. And another thing about Jalen Hurts that's now a knock on him, there are a couple offenses in the league where your skills in doing that can be emphasized, and you're on one of them.
Yeah. I think
that's what I don't get.
Hurts is the type of quarterback when people describe him, they just go, he's a winner. It's not like, oh, he has a good
No,
arm.
they say he's presidential.
You know,
He's professional.
And he's great at the tush push.
He's handsome.
Well, you think about it, Hurts'
He is.
entire career,
but I wouldn't-
college to the pros, he's always had a great team around him.
Yeah.
Alabama was always winning national championships when he was there. Oklahoma, he went, I think, to a New Year's Day bowl game.
And there's something to that. There is.
Yeah.
He knows how to win.
Yeah.
Right. He doesn't take away from the winning, but does he add to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a couple games in last year's playoff where he threw for like 300 and a couple.
Yes. The thing is, to answer this, I'd probably have him at like 11. Like, it's not like I'm going like, oh, no way.
Yeah.
We know you can win with Jalen Hurts. We saw it last year, but I think I would have 10 right now if I were to like build a dream team in 2026.
That's the thing. You can win with Jalen Hurts. We're trying to see if we can win with Sam Darnold. Big games. Can you win the big one with Daniel Jones? You know, like Drake May, we'll figure out if he can win the big one. He's in a weird spot.
Next and last. Brady will get a second date.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm on that.
That's beautiful.
I was dead.
Boarding that train.
Yeah.
Curtis, the hype train, our last hype train is that Brady, who is going to go on a date with someone whose mom set them up on the text line, that Brady's going to get a second date.
I think so. I think Brady's going to do it. I think he's going to turn on the charm. He's going to ask her what her favorite Zin flavor is.
Turn on the charm.
She's going to say wintergreen. It's going to be a match made in heaven.
Not Zin flavors sounding like Axe body sprays and body washes. All men's products sound the same.
They're going to be spitting together.
Yeah.
This will be great.
Mean Glacier.
Anyways, Oak Tree.
Oak Tree.
Rapid Rush.
Pine.
You guys are making me
muscle.
sound like such a great
Axe
guy.
Hammer.
Axe hammer.
Axe hammer. Brady, you did get people sending in advice for you. Someone said to just be yourself, and they said we were making fun of you for having Zin packets, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but we said do not bring them on the date and set them on the table.
First date, you always got to send a representative
Yeah.
of yourself.
Exactly, and then you slowly let the real you out. But they said, first of all, Brady, if she doesn't like the real you, she's not the one. And I thought that was beautiful.
That's true. I'm hoping. I mean, it'd be great.
Yeah, you want to be yourself. Maybe just not like
not all the way
100% yourself.
Yeah, there's
like 80%.
Be like between 80 and 90%
80-20
yourself.
split.
Yeah, 80-20 split. 20%
Say, hey,
like
mind if I throw you some batting practice?
That would be a terrible idea.
Brady, will you tell us about this date? And you have to tell us on air. Don't tell us anything off air.
Yeah, don't tell me anything.
Don't tell
off
us
air.
anything off air. Tell us on air
You got
after
the
the
people
date how it
invested
goes.
now.
Yeah. Like you
I'll
owe
let
this
you guys
to
know.
us.
Let you guys know.
And the date's for sure happening.
I mean, tentatively, yes. I mean, you still have to. It's next week. The day has to still occur. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm hoping everything. Don't try to talk them out of it.
Oh, we get that text. You're gonna hate me. Oh, I hate that text.
Then I'm gonna hate her. Then I'm gonna hate her.
That's been too much of my recent dating life, is lining up a date and then all of a sudden, a few days before the date, hey, so
Someone said let her talk more than you.
Yeah.
And ask questions.
Ask lots of questions.
That's what I
Ask
do.
lots of questions. What I need to know coming your way next. Speaking of questions, I could use a couple. 866-979-3776.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
Nick Eamon-Wari is with us. Can you think back to a game where you had more production?
I think yesterday is probably like the most complete I've played.
This is long before you were born. This is actually when I was playing. 1991, the last time somebody had 2 tackles for loss, a sack, an interception, and a field goal block.
They had told me that stat yesterday. I was pretty amazed by it. You know, it's been a long time, but I'm just grateful and blessed for it to be me.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hey friends, Stacy here. If you've been thinking about a new Ford, I've got great news for you. Family-owned and operated Wayscar Ford in Auburn is having their 103rd annual year-end holiday sales event. And this year, all new Fords are priced at only $1 over factory invoice. And that's on the entire Ford lineup. That's right. Every new Ford is priced at only $1 over factory invoice. And that's before any rebates, customer cash, or low APR financing. Plus, they all come with a lifetime powertrain warranty included at no additional cost. Press for time? No problem. Wayscar Ford will deliver your vehicle to you. You'll never be pressured at Wayscar afford so you can purchase with confidence. That's because every single car they sell comes with a full 5-day or 500-mile, 100% money-back guarantee. So if you change your mind for any reason, bring the car back for a full 100% refund. The $1 over factory invoice sale is going on right now. Check it out at wayscar4.com.
When you're at home and next to your windows, do you notice cold air or a draft when the wind blows? How about moisture or leaking during a rainstorm? Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years in our home, our window seals started breaking. A failed window can do major damage to your home, and the older the window, the more likely it is to fail. That's why right now is an excellent time to have Harley Exteriors come by for a no-charge consultation. That's exactly what I had done over the summer, and not only were they extremely knowledgeable about all things windows, I found them to be polite, professional, and respectful. In other words, people you want to do business with. Harley Exteriors has a special offer for Seattle sports fans. Buy 3 windows, get 1 free. No payments or interest until 2027. And take an additional $200 off your project. Call 833-HARLEY or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today. They'll give you an honest assessment and quote. Go to harleyexteriors.com.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to mydataqb.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or mydataqb.com.
The Puyallup Tribe of Indians and Salish Cancer Center are excited to announce the 3rd annual Giving Hope Gala. You can help support the Giving Hope Gala December 13th at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center and raise money for the Patient Financial Assistance Fund. The Salish Cancer Center helps anyone battling cancer, and attending this incredible event supports that cause. For tickets, sponsorship, and additional information on the Giving Hope Gala, visit puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
It's here, the Light the World giving machines at the Alderwood and South Hill malls. With a swipe of your credit card, donate a chicken, school supplies, meals, and more. Go to givingmachinewa.org.
I know a lot of you guys are listening from your phones right now, so it's the perfect time to give a shout out to my friends over at AT&T. The other guys will make claims saying this and that about how great their network is, and I'm just here to set the record straight that AT&T is America's fastest and most reliable wireless network. I don't know about you guys, but it just gives me so much peace of mind when I'm going to do the things I love, and I know my wireless network's got me. Like if I'm going to a concert or a basketball game or even something outdoorsy. Knowing I'm going to have fast service and can share what I'm up to is a game changer. You want to know you can post what you want to post, call who you want to call, and with AT&T, it literally doesn't matter where you're going. I promise you, they're already there. Don't just take it from me. Actual tests prove AT&T is America's fastest and most reliable wireless network. When you compare, there is no comparison. Based on RootMetrics United States Root Score Report 1H 2025, tested with best commercially available smartphones on 3 national mobile networks across all available network types. Your experiences may vary. RootMetrics rankings are not an endorsement of AT&T.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and $250 free hair paragraphs. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you. Guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It's What I Need to Know. Get your questions in now. 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know. Let's see. My wife and I are shopping for our next forever home, and we're stuck between buying into a new development or buying property and building. Help us choose. This is an out of my tax bracket question.
Property and build. Because then someone's going to want to buy that property eventually. And you don't have to, but maybe sell them a little piece of that, let them develop it, and you get some money on that thing.
See, I know when I played The Sims, I always preferred to get one of the houses that was already made, but then you maybe add things on or you add furniture.
Right,
Sometimes building your own house was a little too overwhelming. Like I would start building my own house and then be like, I'm not creative. I can't do this. That's my only experience building a house. What I need to know. Question for Bump regarding Phillip Rivers. At the age of 44, what's the reality of him actually being able to keep up with the speed of the game, especially NFL defenses? Dante from Oregon, go Hawks.
Aaron Rodgers is keeping up for the most part. I mean, it doesn't look like what it used to look like, but he's doing it. He's what, 42?
Rodgers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think clearly it's going to look different for him, and it's going to feel faster for sure. But I think he can complete 58% of his passes.
We were just talking about Brady going on a first date with someone who he was introduced to on the text line. What I need to know. What's one of the worst dates you've ever had and what happened? Do you remember?
Yes. I got catfished. I was one of the first ever
I think I've heard this story.
get catfished, yeah.
This is before we knew about the game.
This was MySpace back in the day.
We didn't know there was a word for this. It was just lying.
It was just lying. I'm like, everyone, this is her picture. Why would someone put a fake picture up?
Yeah.
And she shows up, and
It's
she's
not her.
about like 6 inches taller, and does not look like
was not the
she
same
did.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine was, it was like a blind date that I was set up on when I was like 21 or 22. And it was just awkward.
Is that the one who put his feet on the dash?
No, that was the worst date. That's actually it. That's it. That was, I was probably like 24. This was not that long after. And I went on one date with this person. The second I showed up, I don't think either of us particularly liked each other, but for some reason stayed on the date to be polite. And at the end of the night, he had clearly had too much to drink, and I was like, can I drive you home? Like, he lived like down the street. I was like, well, I feel weird being like, bye, and then I'm gonna drive past you. So I offered to drive to be polite, being the angel that I am.
Yeah, the angel.
And he got in my car, and he was wearing sandals because it was the summer, and he put his bare feet on the dash.
Oh my gosh.
And I could not wait. I can't believe that happened.
Oh my gosh.
That's when you know you're like, oh, this person does not like me. You're a real weirdo. What I need to know. When cell phones and social media weren't as big of a thing, what breaking news moment do you remember seeing on TV or even hearing about, sports or non-sports?
Breaking news?
Before we would get Adam Schefter notifications on our phone.
When Kobe was trying to leave the Lakers. I was listening to the radio.
2004.
Yeah, I was going to the mall. I'll never forget. I was going to the mall, listening to the radio, and Big Boy, who was the voice in LA, said it, and I was confused.
Curtis, I saw you. leaning
I
in.
mean, the biggest one being September 11th. The other one, I would say, I remember where I was. Michael Jackson's passing. I was at a Mariner game.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess this did involve cell phones, but it wasn't us getting the news from the cell phone. It was somebody texting somebody that Michael Jackson had passed away. And then I had heard it, and I went, Michael Jackson died out loud. And then everybody in our section was like,
So you kind of broke the news.
Kinda, yeah.
Let me tell you, there is no high like being the first to learn about news and then saying it, and then other people know. Like when you see a trade and you're like, so-and-so got traded, and everyone turns, what?
We know
It's
because
thrilling.
you make the biggest deal about
I
getting on the
know.
promo.
It's so great. No, mine would also be 9/11 or a random celebrity one that like does not. It just for some reason I remember this. The internet was a thing, but I did not find out about it from the internet. It was Heath Ledger dying. There's people around me who were just talking about it, and that's how I found out. And I was like, what a weird way to find something out. I'm just so used to. You're so programmed now to like, it's on SportsCenter. You get a text notification.
Yeah.
But like, imagine just hearing now. It's like how you found out about Jimmy Rogers. Just people walking by you were like, hey, did you hear this?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
sorry.
some bull, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I'm some bullshit. Text me.
Oh, someone said the white Ford Bronco. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of those moments of just watching something going, I can't believe this is happening. What I need to know. Let's see. What's the best? A Monday holiday or a Friday holiday?
Monday. Because your weekend is normal. And it's like, oh, guess what?
You forget about it.
Guess what?
Yeah.
And then your next work week is already short.
Yeah.
That's the correct answer. Take off your 40-year-old glasses for a minute. Do you think Rivers can actually keep up with the Hawks defense, a.k.a. the mob?
No one can really keep up with him at this point, unless you're a top team. But to act like Phillip Rivers isn't going to complete a pass, like, come on.
Yeah. Someone said, I broke the news about the Luka trade to my wife in the middle of the night. She didn't appreciate the gravity of the situation.
Shh. Y'all broke the trade to me. I woke up to a text from you guys.
We did?
Yeah, because I went to sleep, I went to sleep
late at
early
night,
or something,
yeah.
and then I was like, oh, they mess with me. This is
Wow. Let's see. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. They're just people sending in different news stories. Oh, Aaliyah. I found, same as Mo Gallup. That was MTV News. Yeah, that was a good one too.
coming on the screen.
I had a scrimmage that night, high school football, and we
Yeah.
found out walking off the field. Man, I was like, man, I was going to marry that girl. I was going to marry that girl.
You know what's really weird is getting older and realizing how young the people are that you remember dying. Like when you were younger than them, but then you read it and you're like, oh my God, they were only 25 or they were only
Selena.
21. What a weird way to end the show, but I was just thinking
Positivity.
of it.
Live
I
life.
know.
Have fun
sorry.
today, folks.
All right, Wyman and Bob coming up next.
Brock and Salk.
You were essentially the fourth member of the broadcast crew this weekend.
Morning 6 to 10.
Basically, it was like, oh, let's go to the fourth member of our crew, Brock Heward, who said on his show in Seattle this week, yeah, let's go back to our friend, the great Brock Heward. Let's talk more about Brock Heward on the broadcast.
Are you sensing? Did you want that to be the Brock and Salk show? I mean, years ago, you got a little bit sensitive about
I'm
these
glad
things.
to know it's your show that you have here every day.
Only on Seattle Sports.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's Refractive Lens Exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top: you never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO, ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/.